And welcome in, Jims and Jimettes. My name is Nicholas Johnston. Over to my left, my right, it doesn't really matter. We're all over the place. Is Wild Bill
How you
Grayless.
doing?
This is episode number 125 of the DAAAgenerates podcast here. This is going to be a fantastic episode. We got a bear. This is a Monday celebration for the Bears. Bears win. Uh, it was a ugly one. It'll be okay. Bill's at that game. He'll tell us all about his experience and all that. I mean, everything else from week 3. We'll go and recap the highlights, the lowlights, the upsets, the basically some ass whoopings. And we got a little, I guess, some disappointing MLB to get into, but we also got some good MLB to get into. We got Pujos hitting 699, 700 in the same game, so we'll talk about that. All that and more. But like I said, we got Bill in the building as always. How the hell are you?
We're doing fucking great. It's a great fucking victory Monday here in the city of Chicago. Bears win an ugly one over fucking Lovey and the Texans. Like you said, I was there. It was a fucking blast. It was a fun game to be at. I went back and I watched like the condensed game on NFL Plus, and it was definitely an ugly game to watch on TV, but being there, it was a fun time back and forth. Bears go up early, they blow the lead at halftime, have a good second half. They win it, a couple big interceptions, and then Cairo Santos ends it with a big walk off field goal. And it was an awesome game to be at. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And yeah, like you said, the big baseball news. Pujols finally fucking does it. 700 club. How you doing? Move over, Barry Bonds, you fucking cheater. We got a new member. I think fourth, right? Fourth,
Yeah.
fourth guy all time to be in the
Yep.
700 club. So
Him, Hank Aaron, Barry Bonds, like you said, and
and
Babe
Babe
Ruth.
Ruth, yeah,
Yep.
Babe Ruth don't really count either because he was playing against fucking mailmen
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
sailors and
We'll
shit
stick
like
to
that.
that.
So
So
uh,
it's basically just Albert Pujos and Hank Aaron is
yeah, I'm
what we're
fine with
referring to.
that.
Yeah. I can sign off on that as well. Uh, yeah. Besides that, I mean, I know you got some stuff on the top of your head. I got some little entertainment stuff that we can get into as well. Shoot, what do you want to get into first?
Yeah. Before we get into the sports this week, we like to do some fun things like this every once in a while. A new movie came out, Barbarian. We're gonna talk about that a little bit. Obviously, everybody's been talking about the new Jeffrey Dahmer. Well, it's not a mockumentary, not a documentary, mockumentary, whatever the
I
fucking
think it's just
series
like a
is.
biopic. I think that's what we were
Biopic
talking about.
series on
Yeah.
Netflix. Everybody's been talking about that. That's been real good. We'll talk about that for a little bit. But before that, I got a little fucking rant I want to go on, and I want to get your fucking opinions on it. And I purposefully, I was gonna send this on Snapchat the other day, but I didn't because I wanted to get your raw reaction to it. Uh, so fucking Saturday, no, Saturday, fucking Saturday. Was it Saturday? No, Friday night. Okay, Friday night. I'm had to fend for myself dinner wise Friday night. I decided I'm gonna go over by my girlfriend's, grab us some dinner, blah blah blah. Or she was already eating dinner, so I had to grab myself something. I was just gonna go over there and eat dinner with them. I want something quick, fast. Stopped at the fucking McDonald's on Manheim. And for most McDonald's, I know there's a lot of them. There's some of them nowadays that only have the one drive-through line, the one speaker. But most McDonald's nowadays have the two drive-through speakers that you go to. And for those of you listening in the Franklin Park area over here, the McDonald's on Manheim has the fucking two speaker, fucking dual threat drive-through situation going on. So I pull in, there's like 3, 4 cars ahead of me, and I noticed like all 4 cars were lined up at the one speaker, and the second one, the outside speaker was completely open. I'm like, okay, can you fucking move over? Like the speaker's not being used. And I'm thinking maybe there's a cone up there I can't see. Maybe there's a sign that says it's out of order. I don't know. But me being the jag off that I am, I start honking on my horn. Hey, move over to the fucking other speaker. No one moves. So the guy who's at the speaker, he orders, he pulls ahead. The 3 cars behind him move up one more spot, and nobody pulls off to the fucking other speaker. So when those 3 cars pulled up, It gave me just enough room to fit my little fucking Volkswagen Jetta. Had to drive over the curb a little bit, but I had enough room to get around the cars and move to that outside speaker, which I did. I get to the speaker. There's no cone. There's no sign. I pull up. Hi, how may I help you? Can I take your order? And I'm like, okay. So I'm rolling down my window. I'm like, can you give me a second? Give me a second to order, or give me a second to figure out real quick. And they're like, okay, let me know when you're ready. Um, the car that was in front of me that I drove around to get to the speaker pulls up to the right side of me, starts honking their horn and like doing the rolling down the window motion. And I'm like, can I help you? And they're like, dude, you just cut us off. We were about to go over there. And I was like, you weren't about to go over there, because while the fourth guy ahead of me was ordering, you had all the time in the world to pull off and go into the drive-through. And then after he finished and pulled up, you also moved up another spot and still didn't pull off to that fucking drive-through. I did. I'm not fucking waiting here behind 3 other fucking cars to order my food. He's some middle-aged Mexican guy, starts fucking screaming at me. I was fucking in line. I was about to fucking pull up, blah, blah, blah. And he said something under his breath in Spanish. And I don't fucking speak Spanish, but he said something. And I was like, whatever. He fucking drove off. He must have came back through, because I placed my order, get up to the first window and pay, get up to the second window. They hand me my drink and they're like, can you pull into spot number 2? It's going to be a few minutes for your food. I was like, okay. I pull in. Actually, I back in, because that's just how I am. I back in. I know a lot of people people who back into spots are hardos. Suck a dick. Learn how to back in. That's why you don't do it, because you don't know how to do it. I back into the fucking spot. I'm waiting for my stuff. I'm drinking that nice, crispy fucking McDonald's Coca-Cola that they probably put a fucking 18 pounds of Pablo Escobar's Coke in.
Oh, yeah.
That shit's so good. So I'm sitting there. I'm waiting. I see this dude. He was driving like a fucking Toyota RAV4 Silver, maybe like a 2010 or whatever. And he, like I said, he must have pulled back in behind me and placed his order, because he places his order at the window, pays, goes to the second window. They tell him to come park in this fucking in the number 3 spot right next to me. So I'm backed in waiting for my food. This dude pulls in, so both of our doors are on the same side. And I had my window rolled down, because I was waiting for the lady to come out, give me my food. I had my arm like hanging out the window, just patiently waiting. And this dude pulls in with his window still rolled up, and we look at each other and we stare at him. Now, I'm not one for fucking confrontation. If I'll avoid it at all costs. Like, if I know I'm wrong, I'll say I'm sorry. But if I'm right, like I think I am in this situation, I sort of, I'll defend myself. I'll stand my ground. So I just have my window rolled down, and me and this dude are staring at this guy. Again, he has his window rolled up. He's staring at me, and again, he's saying something. Like, he's looking dead into my eyes, and he's saying something. I don't know, to himself or to me, but his window's rolled up, so I can't hear it. And I did the roll down the window gesture, and I'm like, what the fuck did you say? And he just keeps talking. He just keeps talking to himself in Spanish. And whatever, he stopped. The food came out, and the lady handed me my food. I said, thank you. I put the car in drive, and I looked at the fucking dude one more time, and I flipped him the bird, and I'm just holding it up. And as I'm pulling away, he starts to roll down his window to say something. Like, what a fucking coward. So
There you go.
am I wrong for zooming around this dude and going to that fucking drive-through?
No,
I don't think I
absolutely
was.
not.
He had he had about a minute. A good minute. He had plenty of room where he could have fucking zoomed off and gone into the second drive-through, and he chose not to. And when he realized that, he probably didn't realize it was there. When he realized that I went around him and took that spot, he probably got fucking pretty salty.
Yeah,
So fuck
absolutely.
that dude, bro.
Yeah,
Just
no.
pissed me off. I was pissed the fuck off.
No, yeah. From what everything you said, that sounds like you're in the right. People are dumb as shit. They don't know. If they don't know, that's their fucking fault. I'll stick with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Was it again? Was so they were so everyone was all jammed up in the inside one?
Yes, yes.
Okay, and they just
There were
straight
four
up didn't
cars ahead of me.
realize that there was an
Yes.
outside one.
Yeah, and
Okay.
like there were two people ahead of this guy
Yeah.
who were
I
also
mean,
waiting that
there's
could have
arrow.
went, and
I know the
nobody
one you're
went.
talking about. There's arrows on
Yeah,
the ground indicating like, hey, there's two. You can go to
yeah.
both
And
of them.
none of the three people in front of me went to it. There were four
Dumb.
people, but the one guy was already at the drive-through,
Yeah.
speaker.
And
So
like the
the three
fact that
people in front of me didn't go to it.
he's like, oh, I was about to go. Yeah, again, no, you weren't. Like you were committed. It sounds like you were committed. You were close enough that you were like, I'm backed in behind this car.
Yeah,
There's no other way.
yeah.
Yeah, no, you're dumb.
He
Yeah,
had
guy said they're
all the
dumb.
time in the world to, like I said, probably about a minute to fucking pull off and
Yeah,
go into that second drive-through, and he just never did. So
yeah, and
fuck that guy.
yeah.
Yeah,
Wasting time
fucking
is my number one. Like that pisses me off the most. Like the fact that you're in my way when I know for a fact that I can be like getting on with my day, but you're in the way. You're the problem. Yeah, that's no. I'm never gonna be a fan of that. Yeah. Anything else? Yeah, yeah. Anything else on anything?
no, that
What'd you
just
end up
fucking.
getting? Yeah,
I
your
got
Sprite and your fucking what's up?
I
What's
got
the
a
usual?
fucking what did I get? The double quarter pounder with cheese,
Mm,
no onions, and just a large fry and a
okay.
fucking spicy Coke.
Ooh,
Oh
spicy
yeah,
Coke.
yeah, that's what I like to describe them as. Those McDonald's Cokes are just fucking different, man. Those things are
Yeah.
spicy.
Just a little bit, just a little bit. I think yeah, between that or like I would probably say their Sprite is probably my favorite version of a Sprite.
I hear that all the time. I don't think I've ever had a Sprite from McDonald's. You know
What?
what? I'm getting one tonight. I'm getting one
Okay.
tonight. We're going out. We're gonna watch the fucking Monday night football game. The Giants are going 3-0, led by fucking Brian Dable and
Fair
Julian
enough.
Love. They're going 3-0 on Monday night. I'm eating dinner at home. I know that, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
stop and grab a fucking Sprite for the compound. I honestly don't think I've ever had a Sprite from McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
as
dive
as
on in, enjoy it.
unbelievable as that sounds, yeah, I have to
You're gonna
fucking get
see
one.
it and then just make sure you pop the lid off and watch all the bubbles shoot up. It's gonna be
Oh,
fantastic. It's so much
that's got
fun.
to be satisfying.
Yeah. Oh gee whiz. Let's see here. The last one thing I had, I went and saw Barbarian besides going to the Sox game over the week, and like I said, we'll get into that later and being utterly disappointed. That was my social life. Went and saw Barbarian. Uh he was pretty fucking cool, for the horror fans out there that are looking to get like, get the spooky season off just right. October and Halloween's just around the corner. Uh this was a pretty fucking awesome movie. If you're like if you were like me, I kind of wanted to go in knowing just little to nothing about this movie, and I think that worked out for the best. Honestly, I enjoyed my time. Some parts were honestly, I don't even want to get into what parts were what happened where. Like I said, if you're just interested in a fun, I think it's like an hour and like 40 minutes. It's like an hour and 45 minutes. It's not too long. It's not too short. It's a nice full length horror movie. Go watch it. Creepy as fuck. I'll keep it at that. Definitely like it doesn't okay. I'll this will be the only like spoiler. There's one, maybe two just like really cheap jump scares just to like maybe get you into that feel of like, oh, maybe it's like that, but no, you definitely it's gonna be crazy. So don't fall into that perspective. Don't It's not gonna be like that. It's nothing cheap. It's fucking creepy. So that's Barbarian. Uh Everyone in there, pretty solid performances. I'll leave it at that. So again,
Now Bill Skarsgård is in that, right?
yeah, he's
The
in
guy
the
who played
yeah,
Pennywise.
yeah. So
Yeah,
he
okay.
plays one of the guys in there. There's like from the trailer again, so this isn't so much of a spoiler. So if you watch the trailer, there's a misunderstanding of who's staying at the this Airbnb in Detroit or whatever. So uh that's where it is. So that's, I guess, like again from the trailer you watch, like, oh, I rented this place from Airbnb. She's like, oh, I rented this place from bookit.com or whatever the fuck he said. So it's like, oh really? This sucks. So yeah. So um yeah, the good perform like I said, good performances from everybody top to bottom. Go watch Barbarian. It's fucking awesome. Like I
Yeah,
said.
I definitely want to watch it. I've heard
Yeah.
good things about it.
I
And
want to I want to
I'm
like I
not
said,
the biggest
yeah.
like scary movie guy, but I've just heard a lot of good things about
Yeah.
it. So
Legit chills, legit like oh fuck type moments. This like I said,
really?
this isn't like
Ooh.
this isn't a cheap jump scares like you're fucking those what are those like those horror comedy type movies
Fucking
that have been coming out.
Halloween movies.
Yeah,
The
I don't
17 different Halloween
I don't
movies
know
they
how
come
those are
out
gonna
with.
be. I don't know how that's gonna be. Everyone's
It's
iffy
gonna
on
be
those.
awful. I already know it.
I know they're kind of like shit they're shat on a little bit, but I did like the Rob Zombie rendition of it. The second one was a little crazy and got a little like lackadaisical with the scenes and whatever, but I like the idea of like let's see him as a kid and then let's see what turned him into this fucking monster and then how he did that. But
Yeah.
I've heard this current version of whatever like the Michael Myers verse
Yeah,
is going
it's
on.
awful.
I've heard mixed feelings because I've heard that it's awful and the acting is shit, but the the Michael Myers that we see now might be the most brutal Michael Myers we've seen.
Oh,
So I
I'd
guess
say
that's
yeah, he was pretty brutal in the
okay.
last one I
So
watched.
yeah, brutal as in like killing, not like brutal as like, oh,
Yeah,
this guy
yeah.
fucking sucks. He's brutal. Like, no, okay. So the other one. So yeah, Barbarian. Go watch it. Go see it at your local films. I didn't know that a lot of good movies were actually out. Like Clerks 3 is out. I gotta go check
Oh, I
that
didn't
really
even know
quick.
that either.
I know very limited screenings from the place I went to, and then next week, Smile. I'm gonna go check out Smile. That's another little horror movie coming out. So again, spooky season coming around the corner. Uh, you had one more. What about this Dahmer show? Everyone's fucking clamoring about. What do you
Yeah,
think about
so
this?
there's new Jeffrey Dahmer monster 10-part series came out on Netflix. They released all of them at once. I've only watched the first 3 episodes, so I mean haven't seen the whole thing yet, obviously. But I've always been one like I don't like buying into the big thing that the internet's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Stranger Things is different. I watched Stranger Things from the beginning. But the whole Stranger Things trend over the last like six
Squid
months.
Games was the
Everybody,
trend.
Squid Games, never watched a single
Did you
episode.
watch
No,
Tiger King? I fucking loved
I
Tiger King.
watched Tiger King, but I watched it late, like once the
Oh,
hype
okay.
already like died down.
I
I
think
was like,
I think
yeah,
I
I
got
could
it
wait
mid
on
hype.
that.
I think I got it like right at the
Yeah.
peak of it. So I was like, all right, this is actually awesome.
Yeah, there's a bunch of those shows. Netflix, HBO shows, I don't know what other fucking
Like
streaming apps, but there's
Euphoria, yeah, the
yeah.
Euphoria show on
Yeah,
HBO
Euphoria.
Max. Everyone's all into that.
I'll never watch
Yeah,
that.
that's
Like
a
I have
little. Yeah, I don't know
no
about that.
interest in that. But I see this Jeffrey Dahmer thing, and I'm starting to get that same thought. Like, okay,
The same
like
thought as Jeffrey Dahmer.
no, the
Okay,
same thought.
all
Like, oh,
right,
here's another show that they're telling. Like people are saying, I have to go watch. It's so
okay.
amazing. This, that, and this and that. But this is gonna sound so wrong, but I've always had like a fascination with serial killers,
Okay, no,
like what is Euphoria and it's like 13-year-olds popping pills and they all got 12-inch dicks. I don't care about that. But like interesting shit like that, it's not interesting. It's real life, like it's based on shit that happened not even 100 miles away from us.
yeah.
We had the John Wayne Gacy one come out last couple months ago, 3-4 months ago, and that was sort of big on Netflix, and that happened 15 minutes from where you and I live. So the serial killer stuff, the Ted Bundy show that came out some point last year was really big on Netflix. Always like to watch those right away. And I sort of had my doubts going into this Jeffrey Dahmer thing. I'm like, oh, this is going to be another, show just telling us what we already fucking know about this guy and the X amount of documentaries they already have about it. I was completely wrong. This show is fucking amazing. Evan Peters, I think his name is, the actor that plays Jeffrey Dahmer, is doing a fucking amazing job. And I'm not really I even said it earlier, I'm not big into the scary movies, the whole horror genre. And I honestly wouldn't even put this, I wouldn't call it like a horror show. It's just creepy.
Yeah, like a
It is
thriller.
creepy. It is. Yeah, yeah. That's a great way to put it. Um and the reason I like it is because one, obviously the guy who's Evan Peters doing a great job acting, but the lady, I forgot what her name is, the black woman who plays his neighbor in the apartment complex, she's like a main character in it, and it's sort of like she was very relevant, at least in the first three episodes. I don't know the rest of the show, but like she's a main character, and it's like she knew this shit was going on, and like she tried to get the police involved, and they wouldn't listen, and they wouldn't, they just didn't listen to this chick. And seeing like the horror on her face, like just the things she's hearing and the things that
Oh
she's
God.
experiencing, the things she's
Oh, so it's kind of
smelling,
okay. So
and
it's
the
kind of like
things that,
that. Okay.
yeah, yeah, and the things that she's experienced just being his neighbor is creepy as fuck. It's like you really don't know what's going on in your neighbor's house. Like,
Okay.
and I
Yeah.
know they're
Fuck.
in an apartment complex and it's different because you're very, they're not connected, but the venting systems, you hear a lot, you can smell a lot. They're really confined and you know, almost not living together, but they're it's not like living in a house,
Oh
you
yeah.
hear these things, and just getting her fucking point of view of all these things that have to happen in Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment is really cool. And then the one thing that I liked, and I like this in a lot of movies, and I like this because one of our favorite directors does this a lot. Quentin Tarantino, especially in like a movie like The Hateful Eight, he has these very long, drawn out, dramatic, like thriller-esque scenes that sometimes are like 10, 15, 20 minutes long without a cut, without a take, without
Okay.
shooting to another room or anything like that. And I'm not going to go into any details, no spoilers ahead, but the first episode is just it's Jeffrey Dahmer in his apartment with one of his victims, and just the whole episode's like 40 minutes long. I'd say at least 30 minutes of it is one scene of them in his apartment from the moment he gets into the apartment, the victim and Jeffrey, until the very end of the episode when the episode ends, and it ends. I'm not going to say anything, but the episode ends, and that it's all like one very long, very dramatic, drawn out scene, and it's great acting. There's only two people in the room. It's uh Jeffrey and his victim, and just the dialogue, and the little nonchalant things that they say and they do, and the body language, and it's just so slow and drawn out, and just so dramatic that it's just different. So I really enjoyed it. Definitely go watch it if you haven't seen it. It's not one of those Netflix shows that, like I said, you have to watch because everybody on Twitter is telling you to watch it. Like it's actually a good fucking show. So for everybody listening, definitely fucking talk, or definitely go check that shit out because it is creepy.
Without a doubt, yeah. Well, from everything that you're saying, it sounds like both of them walk out of the apartment at the end of that episode. So yeah, I mean, I'll definitely, I mean, I'm not a, I'll get into the maybe the trend or whatever. I'm not as strange to it, but I mean, I just want to make sure that the hype is for real, and actually, I'm glad to hear that it is actually worth it. So yeah, I guess check out
Yeah,
Dahmer
it
for
is
what it's
good.
worth.
It
Yeah.
is fucking good. Jeffrey Dahmer. I think it's called Monster. Monster,
Okay.
some making of a monster or something like that. And yeah, the second and third episodes, it goes back. It's the show does a lot of time jumps from like,
Okay.
him in the present day killing all these people in his apartment, and then it'll go back to him as like a 5-year old, and then it'll go back to the modern day, him killing another person, and then him going like as a 9-year old, and then it goes to him in middle school, him in high school, him after high school. He lived with his grandmother for a little bit. He did, everybody knows he fucking he was a fucking drunk, and his parents kicked him out of the house, and he was living by himself at 18 years old. And it just keeps going back to all these different stages of his life that made him the fucking monster that he is, like in these present day scenes where he's actually killing these dudes. So uh I love those little time jumps in shows like that, and it gives you all that background information on this fucking dude. So definitely check it out. It's a one hell of a show so far.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, that's everything that we've been checking in on entertainment wise, besides I guess the sports realm. So if that's everything, like I said, we can dive in on this Bears win, everything we got from that, your experience there, unless you had anything else there on the
No, I
entertainment
think
side.
that's it in term entertainment. Oh yeah, one last thing, just real quick. We like to talk a little Star Wars here on the show every
Oh,
now and again. James Earl Jones
oh,
officially retires as the voice of fucking Darth Vader.
yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
He signed over his voice rights. So he said for as long as Star Wars is putting out Star Wars content and Darth Vader's involved, they'll be able to use his voice.
Okay, they'll
And
just like
so
mix and
he'll
master
always,
it. No, can we just
yeah,
like
yeah,
what he's already recorded? I'm sure
exactly. Yeah.
I'm sure he has a full catalog of, and they'll be able to get snippets, and if anything, he can just come in for 10 minutes and something like that.
I watched this video. There's this, I've talked about him before. Star Wars Theory. This guy on YouTube I like to watch. Uh, they actually have this program where anybody like you or I can talk into this program, and it takes how we're talking and it changes it into James Earl Jones's voice
Oh
with
wow,
exactly like that,
that's
using
incredible.
everything that he's ever done through with Star Wars in using his voice as Darth Vader. It just modulates your voice into Darth Vader, and it's like an official program. He was talking about it. Some Ukrainian programming fucking company, that was their only goal, was
Oh
to
my
like
god,
make this program for Darth Vader's voice, and like that's the only thing that they're known for.
wow.
And they sold it to Disney, and yeah, now that's how. I shouldn't say just Darth Vader. I should say just Star Wars, because they used that same programming to get Luke Skywalker's voice in both The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett, and now they're gonna do it with Darth Vader going forward.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah,
That's so
James Earl
cool.
Joe and James Earl Jones, enjoy your retirement. Always be the fucking Dark Lord of the Sith. And I think
Yeah,
he's like 90 something years old, and he was still doing voice acting. So good
that's
for
pretty
him. I guess
wild.
he's like the Clint Eastwood of voice acting. You just don't know when to stop.
Yeah, no, that's pretty wild. I remember having a toy back in the day where it's just the Darth Vader head, and you can speak
Yeah.
into it, and you sound just like Darth Vader himself. I remember my dog going crazy. She would try and jump on me and attack me every time I had it. She fucking hated it. Yeah. I mean, I thought you wanted to talk about Andor, but honestly, that to me, Andor looks like it
How many
stinks.
episodes did you watch? Did you watch all
One,
three yet?
one. I'm gonna
Okay.
keep it that way.
No, second one
Nah,
gets better. The third one's very good.
I
The
don't know.
third one is
Mike
very good.
already told me it's not worth my
Yeah.
time. So I'll believe him. Yeah. Like I said, let's get into this Bears talk. We got enough little entertainment talk, enough TV talk. Bears win. Bears takeaways. You were at the game. What happened? Where'd you sit? Where are you doing? How many hot dogs did you eat? Did you puke from
Oh,
ice cream? What did we do? How we doing?
no, actually,
Bears.
no ice cream. We went out to dinner beforehand. We weren't tailgating. We just went and got a big breakfast. Drove down there, got in our seats about 11:35, 11:40. Got to see, the players take the field. I think you and I were talking about this. There actually was a flyover during the national anthem,
Hey, let's
which I
go.
didn't think they were gonna have it like in just a regular season game. But got the no Jim Cornelison, but we got the national anthem. We had a flyover. Fucking Bears take the field to some fucking Metallica, which was awesome. And then before every kickoff, they play For Whom the Bell Tolls. But one thing that we missed, and I actually found out today, Soldier Field is getting rid of the air raid siren. Like usually the Bears, right before kickoff, they have the fucking air raid siren going off. For Whom the Bell Tolls is playing, and once they kick it off, they cut it all off and they play
Mhm.
football. But they got rid of the air raid siren, and moving forward they're not going to be having it anymore. I don't know what the reasoning behind it is, but we missed out on that yesterday. uh, Other than that, it was a fucking fun time. um, Getting in and getting I'll say getting in the stadium was not terrible. It was not
Okay.
terrible. We got dropped off by our Uber about, a quarter mile away from the stadium, walked right in the west entrance. It was a
I
little
think that
cramped once
might
we
be
got in there.
why, because you guys took the Uber. I think the Uber routes to get in and get out are really easy compared to
Yeah,
like
to get
actually
in,
probably to
to get
actually,
in they
yeah.
are. To get out, it's a fucking nightmare. We had to walk like a mile and a half just to get picked up by an Uber.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was awful, and it started raining once the game ended. It was brutal. But we got in there. The one thing I do like about Soldier Field, whenever you order beer there, they don't like pour it in the cup for you, and they don't crack the beer for you. They just give you a closed can of beer. So me and a lot of the dudes in our section, we were just shotgunning beers the entire
Oh,
time.
sick.
So that was awesome. There was beer flowing everywhere. We didn't eat it all inside the stadium. We went out. We got some fucking Denny's beforehand. Got
Oh
some fucking
yes.
cinnamon swirl
Breakfast of
pancakes.
champions,
Oh yeah,
Denny's.
there was fucking crackheads. There's a bunch of crackheads at the fucking Denny's, but that's Denny's. That's what you go to.
That's
That's what
7
you
a.m.
pay for.
Denny's.
That's
That's 8 a.m.
exactly that's what you
Denny's.
expect. But it was fun. The game was awesome in terms of being there. A lot of momentum swings. The Bears were leading. The Bears were trailing. Big interception by Roquan Smith at the end, and then we got a walk-off field goal by Cairo Santos, like I said earlier. So all in all, the game day experience at Soldier Field, it was fun. Getting out of there, like I said, was a pain in the ass because when you get picked up by an Uber or a Lyft, there's like designated zones that you have to walk to get picked up in. And the closest one was like a mile and a half away from the stadium. So that was a fucking pain in the ass. But
Yeah.
it was fun. We got to see a Bears win. And it was funny because my girlfriend had told me about these tickets a couple months ago, but I didn't know they were for me. She was like, I'm gonna buy me and my dad tickets for a Bears game this year, and it's gonna be an early Christmas present for him." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." She's like, "Can you help me pick out tickets? Reasonable price for like a good spot." She doesn't want to spend like $300-400 a ticket. Pick maybe like a good game to go to. We don't want to go in the middle of the winter, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, go week 3 against the Texans. It should be nice weather out. You get Lovey Smith coming back, which he didn't get a fucking round of applause. Everybody was booing Lovey Smith, and they put him up on
Really?
the jumbotron, which I didn't
Oh,
appreciate.
that's a shame.
There were
They
a
all
handful
listen
of
to
people.
Kyle.
Everybody, yeah, fucking Kyle. I was clear. I was clapping for him. I have no reason to hate Lovey Smith,
I
but
mean,
he
3
did
playoff
briefly.
appearances and a Super Bowl appearance. I mean, no, not the
Yeah,
win,
he
but
came up on the he
gotta
came up on the
respect them a little bit.
jumbotron. Yeah, he came up on the jumbotron briefly, and they said something. Everybody started booing him, and he started smiling. So I guess he was enjoying it. But
Uh,
what was I gonna say? Where was I saying? I don't even fucking know. She wanted me to pick like a good game
yeah,
for us to go to, and I was like, go week 3, buy week 3 tickets against the Texans. It might be one of the only home games the Bears win this year.
there you go.
And they get up 10-0, and then they're trailing 14-3 at halftime. And she looked over at me and she's like, "You told me the Bears were gonna win this game. That's why I bought the tickets." And then it was 17-3. And she's like, "I can't believe you made me buy these tickets. The Bears are gonna fucking lose." And I was like, "Relax, this game ain't over yet." And obviously they go on to fucking win it and enjoyed it. And yeah, so it was a fun game to go to. Let's talk about the actual game a little bit.
Yeah, no, it seemed like an ugly one from beginning to end, just a real rock fight. I mean, yeah, I guess it really came down to that tip pass at the end of the game that was Roquan's interception. I mean, he went absolutely ballistic. He had 16 tackles on the game and interception. I mean, we were watching the game at Mike's place like usual up on the big screen, and then they got red zone down there, showing all the stats and stuff. They put him up on a nice graphic comparing him to all like other guys that have done crazy games like that. I believe only maybe like a guy like Luke Kuechly. I don't remember off the top of my head who was number one, but like he had 18 tackles and an interception compared. And again, like Kyle Hendricks, the one of the Minnesota linebackers.
Eric Hendricks, I
Eric
think.
Hendricks.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Uh, yeah, again, similar stat, like 16 tackles and an interception. One of the very, very limited guys to do this. So pretty awesome to see that. So Bears, pay him now. But the Bears, their defense was hurting. No Jalen Johnson, like you pointed out on your Snapchat preview. But they limited the Texans defense to some very limited plays. I think it was off the top of my head, I can only recall maybe few big 15, 20-yard rushes by Dameon Pierce and that 152-yard reception, but not really much else from the Texans. The only thing I was really disappointed in and like just wondering is just like, goddamn, we're looking at Davis Mills. If he's on the Patriots, maybe they look better. It's just Davis Mills looks like a comparable, ready to go quarterback.
Yeah, I agree.
And we've been saying that last year too, and we're just sitting here like, but we have Fields, like he's supposed to be better, and he throws 8 for 17, 106 yards, gets intercepted twice, I think. I mean, maybe we'll get into him in a quick second, but I do want to stay positive just really quick before we get into all that. 281 yards on the ground. Haven't seen that since Walter Payton's been around, so that's pretty fucking awesome. But again, yeah, the big, I mean, besides David Montgomery going down, Khalil Herbert stepping right in, like I've been saying, Khalil Herbert can step right in and do exactly that. Running back might be the most replaceable position, not just in football, but in all of sports. But yeah, this passing game needs some work. That's being very light with it. This is questionable at best. I mean, I don't even know what to do. 47 total pass attempts on the year. I was obviously watching the Cardinals game for the sake of fantasy. Kyler Murray had 45 passes through 3 quarters. So I mean,
Wow.
I don't know what's going on. Whether it's just I don't know what the lack of confidence is. Is it a lack of confidence just in Fields himself? Is it a lack of confidence in the O line to protect him, or is it a lack of confidence in the talent? Is it a mixture of all three? Because I don't know about you, and I'm sure you were probably, I mean, being there, you're probably booing. Why wasn't there any timeouts called before the half ended?
Yeah,
Again,
I don't know. Everybody was booing. It was fucking hilarious watching them. That was typical Bears shit. We're like, okay, they're gonna run the ball. They're not gonna use their timeouts here. They're not even gonna attempt to score. And that's what I had said to my girlfriend's dad. And that's exactly what they did. And we looked at each other. We started laughing, and everybody in the stadium starts booing. And I forgot exactly what play it was, but I think it was like a third and long, third and 13, third and 16 or whatever it was. And I look over, and the guys behind us and the guys ahead of us, they were rowdy. They were into it the whole time. I look over and I say loud enough for everybody to hear it, but I was talking to my girlfriend's dad. I was like, here comes a fucking draw. And he starts
sure enough.
laughing. And it wasn't a draw, but it was just a little dump off pass to the running back in the flats, which we got like 2 yards on. And I was like, that's basically a fucking run play, you know? And
Yeah.
I stand up and I was like, nice fucking play call, Nagy. And everybody starts dying laughing. And I mean, like, that's what we've come to expect.
Yeah.
And I think it is partially like the offensive line, as good as they're doing in the run game, they cannot pass block to save their fucking lives. And you know what? If you got a bad offensive line like that, maybe you can rely on like your star wide receivers to make a move and get open and catch a ball and make somebody miss, but we don't have that.
Nope.
So
Not even close, dude. I mean,
not
Cole
even
Kmet
close.
finally
Yeah.
caught his
I
first
know he
pass. He
finally
caught
caught a
two.
ball,
He caught
baby. Let's
two. Did
go.
everyone go crazy? Because I'm pretty.
Oh
I
yeah,
did. We ran
everybody went
laps around the
nuts.
apartment
Everybody
building.
went nuts, dude.
Yeah. Like
Everybody went
it's
nuts.
come to that. It's like when a pitcher has been throws 8, 9 straight balls and he finally throws a strike down the middle. It's just like,
Yeah.
hey, how you doing? You welcome to the game. Like,
Let's
yeah,
see.
exactly that. It's just like what.
Breaking news out of fucking Adam Schefter. Looks like DeAndre Swift at least gonna miss the next 2 weeks with a shoulder injury.
Damn, Jamal Williams gonna
Dan
be the big
Campbell
pickup.
Yeah, Dan Campbell just came out and said that he could come back after their bye week, October 23rd. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, going back to the Bears, like they can't pass block. They don't have the skill at any, tight end, wide receiver to make a catch and make a move after a catch. And then let's just gonna be completely honest. Both of those interceptions from Fields were terrible decisions.
Yeah.
They were forced balls. On the first one that he had over the middle, he had, I think it was Equanimous St. Brown wide open up the sideline. There was nobody within 15 fucking yards of him. And instead of going to him and seeing he was open, he forced it into double coverage over the middle and it gets picked off. So they have a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
And I think going into this season, we knew this offense was still going to be fucking terrible. Kudos to the run game because all three fucking games, two good defenses in the 49ers and the Packers, respectively. We ran all over them. And then, yeah, like you said, Herbert joining some great company with fucking Matt Forte and Walter Payton going over 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. So the run game, I guess we just got to fucking rely on that going forward because the pass game is in absolute shambles.
Yeah.
I thought this could be a game that this could have been a game where Justin Fields could have gone out there, slung the ball a couple times. I would have been okay with 2 interceptions. If he would have had like 270 yards and 2 touchdown passes, I would have been like, okay, I'll take the 2 interceptions because at least there was a lot of good that came along with it. And we just didn't get that. So I don't know. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know whether it's going to be bringing in more receiver help, figuring out the offensive line. I don't know what the fuck it's going to be. I don't know if it's play calling. I don't know. It fucking beats me.
Yeah, to save any sort of face, that's the type of games that he's going to have to put together. He's going to have to put he doesn't have to be the Tua Tagovailoa week 2 games where he's putting up 469 yards and 6 touchdowns. He just needs to put up like you said, 270, 2 and 2, 270, 200, 2 touchdowns and no interceptions. Get him 50 yards on the ground and get him a rushing touchdown. Just the games where he's just not making mistakes and actually putting up numbers that are NFL quality numbers. These 100-yard games are what you get out of a high schooler. It's fucking pathetic. And again, we again running through the quality, I don't even know what would be the different factors and of like what's the decision making, what's going on with that, but just what they lack the most confidence in, maybe there's a combination of all three, between the O-line himself and the lack of talent, but something needs to be strung together. And if it's going to be week 4 and you're going to be going up against the Giants, who again we're talking about it, who could possibly be be 3-0 by the end of this week.
The third team, the third and only third team in the league that could be undefeated.
I mean, again, it sounds crazy, but it's just like we're not putting together any sort of numbers or anything like that. We can look at paper and be like, all right, we can go into this game and be confident. I mean, we're gonna get into, obviously we'll do our prediction come Wednesday's episode, but right now I'm sitting here, I don't really feel any sort of confidence, any sort of like we're gonna fuck this team up like attitude that I kind of did last week with the Houston Texans compared to the Giants. I don't really see that. Again, we're gonna have Fields literally just needs to string together at this point just pedestrian like games just to be in any sort of realm of anything good, because a lot of people are like, oh, still the sample size isn't enough to say that he's good or not. And I'm still kind of in that crowd of like, he really still has no one to rely on. It really truly is just him out there. So, I mean,
and we've been seeing that the couple times yesterday.
He scrambled out and he made
got first downs. Like,
he scrambled out. That was such an athletic play where he had to fucking. It was. That probably looked so awesome live. But I mean, yeah, even on TV, that looks so.
Yeah,
fun.
And there's 2 sides of the coin when it comes to a play like that. Like, the good side of it is obviously the athleticism of Justin Fields and the know-withal to say, hey, this play's dead. I need to do something by myself. That's the good side of it. But on the other side, it's like we shouldn't have to rely on our quarterback running to get first downs.
Yeah.
We should be able to throw a fucking ball. We should be able to do some play action. We should get into some third and short yardage situations where we could have a running back pick it up. And it shouldn't just be these broken plays. As fun as the broken plays can be, even going back to last year with the 49ers and him running all over the fucking field, Madden style, and scoring a touchdown. They're fun. They're great to see. But at the end of the day, that happened because everything else went wrong.
Yeah.
Everything else was broken. Like that's what a broken play is. So
getting
it's
sacked
good
5
and
times
bad
by the Texans defense, just that's not good.
Yeah,
Giving
that
up 5
is
sacks,
god awful. Name someone on the Texans defense.
I can't.
JJ Watt. I still think he's there. That's like, I know he's not there, but if I had a gun to my head and had to name someone on the Texans defense, I would say JJ Watt.
I'm looking at the box score right now. I'm looking at the box score right now, and I still can't tell you names. The names are right in front of me. I still can't tell you who they are.
I would say JJ Watt, and I would hope the guy with the gun to my head just forgot and still thought he was there. You know?
Okay, maybe Desmond. Yeah, Desmond King II. That name looks familiar. But
that drug addict, that was fucking Rogers pill popping buddy.
Oh, for sure.
I don't want to hear about him.
But yeah, everything else is just like, no name. It's just, there's just no names. Exactly that. Just nothing fantastic. This is a game that easily could have been won on the other end. I mean, you could have flipped into some sort of little multiverse. There's no tip pass, there's no interception. They keep going down the field, and they probably get their game-winning field goal one. And we're probably talking about feeling a little bit different. Like I feel, we feel better because of the win, obviously, but the overall play, besides the run game, is just not. You don't feel good about it. I don't feel any sort of like optimism at all. If it's going to be really tough to win games against any sort of prominent offense. They're just going to, if they're in any sort of like capable offense, maybe like the Vikings, maybe like, I mean, you haven't seen it just yet, but the Cardinals, when they get everyone fully healthy or something like that. But if we get into a track meet with like, you're not going to be, wouldn't be at all be able to keep up with the Kansas City Chiefs, wouldn't be able at all to keep up with the Rams, teams like that. They're going to run laps around us. There's just no way we can keep up if we can't pass the ball. And as soon as teams keen in on the run, like they will, because that's the only thing we can currently do and move the ball, that's going to be it. That's going to be the end of the offense, and it's just going to be boring 3 and outs, 3 and outs, and 3 and outs. And I'm not going to be standing for that. So they're going to need something to be able to throw the ball. I think there was some sort of a message that popped up. I think that the Bears are in the market for some sort of wide receiver trade right now. They want to do something. They need something. They need some sort of threat.
We should have done that in the offseason before McLaurin and fucking Debo and Metcalf all got these nice fucking all got these nice extension, because we could have definitely benefited from having one of those 3 dudes on this team.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, and you know what? I agree with you. It's the same. Like it's a win. A win is always fucking nice, but I'm still not bought in on this team. I still don't think this is a playoff team. And you know what even sucks even more? The next 4 games are all 4 out of the next 5 games are winnable games. I think the Vikings, that's a tough game. I think the Bears lose that one, especially on the road. But the Giants, the Commanders, a Dak-less Cowboys team, and potentially a Mac Jones-less Patriots team. We don't know the extent of that fucking leg injury.
I think they said 2 to 4 weeks.
Exactly. So potentially we get Bill Belichick without fucking Mac Jones. Probably Brian Hoyer is going to be playing quarterback for them. I don't know. That can be 4 wins right there, and the Bears can be sitting at 6-3. And I still don't think they'd be a fucking playoff team.
Yeah,
as crazy as that.
Oh my God, they'd
have to show me a lot of improvement in the pass game over the next 5 weeks to say, okay, maybe this is a fucking, a playoff team. And Brian Daboll is going to have the fucking Giants ready to play next week, especially if they come in. I know they're going to be on a short week because they're playing Monday night tonight. But if they can get a win tonight over the Cowboys, which I really think they can do, I think they're going to get the win tonight. You're 3-0. First time they've been had a winning record since what was it? The last time they were in a Super Bowl or something like that. Like
Like
that's how bad they.
2009, I
Yeah,
think,
it's been
something
yeah.
crazy like that.
It was like
2007.
2008 or it was like 2008 or 2009. I think the first time they've had a winning record. They got a fucking young team. That team could be fucking dangerous. And like the Bears could beat them, but I mean. That's a fucking tough game, and you're not going to be
All
able to
the
just run over the
momentum
Giants, run all over them.
pending tonight's game, all the momentum right now, even with it's still even with the Bears winning. If the Giants get this win, it's a division win for them. All the momentum will be on the Giants side. So that's just how it will be. The Bears will need to come out and just be actually just be able to pass. And I mean, again, we'll get into the prediction, but it it's going to be rough. They shut down in week 1. They shut down Henry and made Ryan Tannehill throw the ball, and he was god awful, and they lost. And they lost for that very reason. So, and honestly, I mean, the Tennessee Titans kind of in the same boat as kind of like the Bears. I mean, the defense is okay, and they can come up and show up in spots. They have a questionable quarterback right now. They have a really good run offense, and it's just stuff like that. No real crazy offensive. I'm definitely going to give their wide receivers the heads up over us, but no like weapons that are like, oh my god, we need to hone in on them. It's just something like that, and they can probably do a similar game script that they did to the Titans that they did to us, and that's going to shut our offense down completely. So that's Wednesday, and we'll get into that all then. But I don't know. Like I said, we're coming off the win. It's good and all, but this is still, a lot of questions have come up than more than
still
answers.
A lot of bad.
Yeah. So for me, that kind of wraps up for Bears, at least for this week.
We still got one of the best kickers in the league, Cairo Santos,
without
baby.
a doubt.
Money.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
And I think this is needless. We don't even have to say it. Pay Roquan. We're going to say it every week. This dude single-handedly won the fucking game for the Bears. 16 tackles, 2 of them for a loss. I think he had a ball batted down earlier in the game, and then he had the interception to, put us into position to kick a game-winning field goal. So he played this game not practicing all week with a hip injury, and I didn't even know he was playing until he ran out of the fucking tunnel. I didn't check my phone. After 9 o'clock, I didn't look at my phone.
Him and Jalen Johnson were game time decisions.
Yeah, so I didn't know he was playing until he ran out of the damn tunnel. And for him not to practice all week with a hip injury and then come out and put the team on his back like he did yesterday.
If he doesn't play, they lose without a doubt.
100%, 100%. He wherever the ball is, he's either tackling that dude or jumping on the pile, helping to bring that dude down. Like, he is everywhere, and he is the heart and soul of not only the defense, but the team right now. And we need to keep that guy around as long as you fucking can. So pay Roquan Smith. Get the hashtag going right now on Twitter, Troy. Hashtag pay Roquan Smith. Yeah. You fucking tweet it. And let's get this man his money.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one thing just to leave off on, I guess, unfortunately, be the sour note, but I guess I just don't want to undersell it. David Montgomery going down. That's going to be, while it is going to be, I guess I keep saying that Herbert's going to step in and probably do what he does. Maybe he can do, another 100-yard game. But it's going to be a big blow for the Bears, obviously. But if the run game stays like it is, that can be still beneficial. But yeah, Monty going down with, I think it was a shoulder and an ankle. So I don't know what the timetable is. I don't know if he's missing any time as of right now. I think the reports and everything will still come out within the couple hours or so of you get all your fantasy
this is
stuff.
A big injury. This is a big injury not only for the Bears this season, but going into this offseason. This is David Montgomery's contract year. So they're going to have to decide what they want to do with this guy. And I know running backs are expendable, and if you do sign them, you can get them on a relatively cheap deal, maybe $5-6 million a year. I like Monty. He's great in the run game, great in the pass game. He's a good blocker, which I think is very underrated in a lot of offenses. He's a great guy. He's a leader in the locker room. Plus, he's a fucking Cyclone. Shout out Iowa State. So I always like my Cyclones. I would like to keep this guy around, but god damn it, whenever he gets hurt, this year or last year, Khalil Herbert fills in and does just as good, if not better. So like that's something the Bears are gonna have to monitor going forward the rest of the season, how this guy's health is and how Herbert does when he gets the opportunity to play.
Yeah, I'm obviously gonna have to monitor it. If he's out, I'll have to maybe retract this statement or not. But as of right now, I'm still under the impression that David Montgomery on the Bears is more beneficial for the Bears as opposed to him not being there.
Yeah, I agree. I
So
agree.
whether it's just him being hurt or him just being, now with the franchise in general being on another team, signing in free agency, being traded away or something like that, uh, I feel like Montgomery on the Bears that's a better Bears team with him as opposed to without him. So
Yeah,
that
I
was the
for
last
sure
thing. I
agree.
guess that probably wraps up on everything Bears week 3. We'll get into week 4 on our Wednesday episode, or maybe Wednesday when it goes up, Thursday whenever you tend to listen to it. Uh, let's see. I know you're away at the Bears game, couldn't really watch much football. Maybe you're trying to do your best to check in on the phone or something like that. Maybe you're getting updates on the big screen or something like that. But we had some pretty good games happening throughout the league. I figured we can dive in, maybe checked about on some highlights or whatever. Maybe any game that stuck out to you that you want to talk about right away. I know I got one that's kind of like the big headliner that everyone's been getting into, but yeah, some nice exciting games, some upsets like I said earlier, some absolute ass whoopings, and some snores, some absolute boring fucking games. We'll just get right into that. But
Oh,
anyone that stuck out to you right away?
yeah. Like I said, we didn't get back home until almost 6 o'clock, so didn't get to follow a lot of these games. I did have the Packers Bucks game playing on my phone on the car ride home, so got to watch most of that second half. But even that was a pretty fucking boring game
Yeah.
until the final drive when Brady scores a touchdown, almost ties it up, comes up just a little bit short.
Yeah, that one with the controversial I mean, Aaron Rodgers had one not getting a playoff in time, but he still got it. And then obviously there was the touchdown. Goes down to 0 with the play clock. Doesn't get it off, but then they let him go and he gets it off later. But then they catch him on the 2-point conversion. Uh,
yeah, just
yeah, that's a
iffy.
tough one. It's a tough one. I mean, I guess I guess Brady and Fields are in the same realm of they have no one to fucking throw to right now. You had Julio
No,
out, Mike Evans on a suspension,
I mean they had to.
Russell Gage should not be your number one target in my mind. I know
Yeah,
as
they
much
had
as we
Russell
give him,
Gage and Cole Beasley, who they just signed off the fucking street on Wednesday
yeah,
as their
Brashad
number one and two
Perriman, like
guys.
no, that shouldn't be your guys. When you're and then, again, like Cameron Brate is like your number one tight end right now at this point. It's just like ugh, what's going on? The only thing again, again is, I can't really compare the Bucks to the Bears too much, I guess, besides their record. But again, I get the rushing game's working phenomenally for them. And every time I see Leonard Fournette, he's just falling forward every single time. So he has potential. I mean, fantasy wise, maybe just in general to just finish maybe top 5, top 3 in rushing, top 5, top 3 in scoring and fantasy for running backs this year. He's gonna have a phenomenal fucking year. So
Yeah,
I guess that's the only upside from either of those. But yeah, all around watching from beginning to end, obviously chilling with Mike. We were watching the Packers game. Very boring game. Uh, the Bucks defense is going to keep them in games. Otherwise, they're going to have to. The Buccaneers offense is going to have to figure out something until the receivers get healthy and back. I know again, Mike Evans not hurt. He'll be back after his 1 game suspension. Uh, but yeah, Tom Brady, he's gonna have to figure it out. He's gonna have to throw more accurate passes and throw less fucking tablets on the sideline. I know he's just gonna throw motherfuck everybody on the sideline until they start winning again. But I'm sure they'll figure it out. That's that. Again, I mean that's a good win for the Green Bay Packers, who have been again every single week we question what are they gonna do on offense. Is it just gonna be Aaron Jones and what's his face, fucking AJ Dillon? But no, it seems to be that they're kind of getting Alan Lazard. I mean, he's got a touchdown for both games that he's played, and they're kind of just be able to dink it, dot it, figure it out. Their defense isn't too bad. They were able to turn it over as well. So again, not the most exciting game, but a very important game for both of these teams. And the Green Bay Packers were able to just again rock fight and get it done. So that was the very underwhelming Packers Bucks battle of the goats. That was that game. Uh, We had Dolphin. The
Battle
one.
of the guys who also hate their families. So shout out
Yeah.
to them.
I like that one that Mike's in our group chat.
Yeah,
He
the one
goes,
meme was
yeah,
hilarious.
no, that one was good. And then he goes, loser has to call their family on the phone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that sucks.
that one was good. uh, let's see.
That's almost worse than losing the game.
Calling an old family member you just don't want to. Ugh, yeah.
Yeah.
The one everyone's been talking about, and I mean, this might be the big headline, might be the again overreaction Monday and all that shit. Dolphins getting a big win over the Buffalo Bills. Oh no, that was the Bucks game, but I'm sure it was probably just as hot down in Miami. Yeah, the Dolphins able to survive 90 offensive plays and a butt punt from from the Bills. But yeah, the Bills still couldn't get it done. Are the Dolphins legit, like we kind of mentioned last week, or is it when the snowfall comes down, is it gonna all come falling down for the Dolphins?
You know what? I wanna hate on Tua in this offense as much as I can, as much as humanly possible. I still think Buffalo is the better team. They had a little mishap there at the end of the game trying to get that playoff. Didn't have their top two safeties, which
Oh yeah, their defense was completely cooked. Everyone
yeah.
between IR spots, and I mean, people with shoulder injuries, neck injuries, someone's missing a foot or something like that. That defense was cooked from top to bottom.
Yeah, I can't remember. I know it's Jordan
Poyer.
Poirier and Micah Hyde. One of them is out for the season, and the other one didn't play. Let's see, injured reserve.
I
Yeah,
think it's Poirier. Oh,
Micah Hyde's out for the season, and Jordan Poirier, he's out with the shoulder injury, right? Yeah, something like that. But to them and those two and Tre'Davious White and Von Miller, but that's probably the best
I don't.
safety
I think Ed
tandem in the
Oliver
league.
also sat their D tackle.
Jeez. So yeah, they were just missing everybody yesterday. It was an ugly game. It was a hot one down in fucking Miami. And they only lose that one by 2 points. I still think Buffalo wins that division. I think whoever they play next week, who is that going to be? Looking at it right now. Oh, they play the Ravens. That's
Ooh.
a tough matchup. Buffalo's still 3.5 point favorites though.
Are you on the Buffalo schedule right now?
I am. I am.
When do they play Miami next? When's their
They
win?
play Miami December 18th.
Ooh,
Looks like
you're gonna.
week
You,
14. Week 14. Yeah.
if you
Two
somehow can
days
get a
after my
spread,
birthday in Buffalo.
if you can lock in a bet on that game right now, I would hammer the fuck out of the Bills. I think they're gonna crush them. Not only just the revenge type game, but it's gonna be cold in Buffalo in December. So, yeah, I would definitely hop on that as early as you can. But yeah, definitely. I mean, it's kind of they were limiting Jalen Waddle up until right towards the end. He got like a 50 or 45, 50-yard bomb to get him close enough for Chase Edmonds to get a score. I think he had 2 scores on the game. Uh, while again caught the Bills early, caught him at the right time with a bunch of injuries. Just again, it's a little early, and I brought up the question myself, but I can't really answer just yet. As of right now, yeah, the Dolphins look like they're ready to roll. They can keep up, and like I said, in terms of if it's gonna be a track meet, this is a team that can keep up. Definitely on the offensive end. If you have Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, can just absolute burners, you're gonna be in ball games. And sure enough, you were able to see it right here. So I guess you kind of get the Bills JV squad, I suppose. A lot of people are saying that, but I don't know. They're still a professional football team. They were still able to
Jesus.
they're still able to make it a game.
I
90 offensive plays is still pretty impressive to hold them down. So
I just saw the stat line for Josh Allen now. I have Josh Allen in one of my fantasy leagues and great pickup. He's killing it.
oh yeah.
42 for 63
Huh.
with 400 yards passing and 2 touchdowns, no
So
interceptions.
in one
I don't know how
game,
you
he's
I don't know
thrown
how you
20
lose
more
that game.
passes. He's in
How
one
do you lose
game.
that game?
Yeah, no, that's
Come on.
fucking insane. In one game.
63 attempts with 400 yards and you still lose. That's bad.
Yeah, that's gnarly.
That just shows everything is going the other team's way, like you just all the injuries, that last second, you just get the fucking little clip of their coordinator, whoever it was, throwing shit in the
Oh
press
yeah,
box,
that was
flipping out.
great.
That was funny. Yeah, it just didn't go right. I'm still not buying into fucking Tua. Took a nasty hit, and I know there's some controversy going around now. Was he supposed to be back in that game after that injury? Because I mean, he stood up and he couldn't even fucking walk after that. That dude was
Yeah, he did
fucked up.
stumble
But
and fumble. I mean, he didn't fumble the ball, but yeah, he almost fell right to the ground if the offensive lineman didn't catch him completely. So yeah, that's a tough look. I don't. Yeah, I think that was again after the fact. The NFL PA or whatever was like, oh, we don't know if you should have done that. That's a little fucked up. So they'll look into that. I don't know if that's going to be fine worthy or something like that. I don't know if Tua isn't going to get any sort of anything like that. It's definitely on the coaches and the organization. But yeah, that's hopefully he's okay. Obviously, you don't want anybody to get an injury and shit like that. If you're good on that game, we can go on to another one. Maybe something that was close to home. Colts upsetting the Chiefs. I don't know. I mean, again, you didn't really wouldn't able to see the game, but Colts on basically had the ball for the last 7 minutes of the fourth quarter. Went on a big long drive, able to cap it off with a touchdown that ultimately sealed it. Uh, Chiefs had maybe I think 23 seconds and three timeouts, and then through it, they call a timeout. They're just within field goal range. They can get a little bit closer, and it's tipped and it's picked off, and the Colts just fucking squeak one out. Disgusting, horrible game. I know Jonathan Taylor didn't do anything crazy. Just Matt Ryan was able to just get it around. I know the Chiefs had plenty of opportunities to just get. They had long drives that just didn't end in scores. Just a very weird game for them. I'm not out on the Chiefs. I might just be out in general on the AFC West being as dominant as they should be. I mean, we'll get into the Broncos and how weird they are. We'll get into the Chargers losing and the Raiders doing it as well. But yeah, yeah, this Chiefs squad, they should still be okay. I mean, I'm not gonna be doubting on them, and this shouldn't be any sort of like hoorah for the Colts just yet. Well, they're not out of the weeds just yet. I think they still suck ass. I think they could have for sure lost this game. But if you had anything on that, we're maybe feeling on the Colts besides them fucking up your parlay.
yeah, thanks a lot, Jagoffs. Yeah, ruined the fucking parlay. Uh, didn't see the ending. Didn't see any of this fucking game, like you said. But um, I think you got to get the rushing game. You got to get the run game a little bit, more. You got to get it going if you're the Chiefs. I mean, your leading rusher yesterday was Patrick Mahomes.
Ooh.
And I know it's that high-powered offense. You should be throwing the ball down the field. Juju didn't have a bad day, 5 for 89. Kelsey got in the end zone. But I mean, Jerick McKinnon, 7 attempts for 20 yards. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 7 carries for 0 yards.
Jared
Uh,
McKinnon out touch Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
he did,
Oh my
yes.
god, that's brutal.
Yeah, so you got to get the run game going a
He's
little bit
back, and then
more.
he's back into like the consideration of, oh, you probably played him week. Maybe you played him week one for your fantasy, but and maybe after a week two and week three performance, he's back in like the realm of, well, fuck, he's just not reliable at all. He's not even worth
Yeah.
a flex spot.
Clyde has been doing well in the passing game.
Okay,
5 receptions, 39 yards. I think he has 2 or 3 receiving
then that's still
touchdowns already on
something.
the year.
That's
So
still something to
yeah.
consider. I mean, he did get the two in the first game, but I mean, if you still got one last week, that's still pretty good. But
Yeah.
yeah, in my mind, he's not a reliable guy
I don't.
just
I
yet.
still don't think this is. I mean, it's obvious. It's not the high-powered offense that we've known, and we've known over the last couple of years. You lose Tyreek Hill, you're gonna have to find other ways to win this game.
Yeah.
Kelsey's just not going to be win. Kelsey's not going to be winning you games by himself. Unfortunately, you keep Tyreek Hill, you add him to that mix. Yeah, those three, Hill, Mahomes, and Kelsey, they can win you games, but
Yeah.
you got to find other ways to win games. And I think, getting that run game going would definitely help them, would definitely benefit them.
I think, yeah, without a doubt. I mean, Kelsey's always going to be on, but I mean, unfortunately, he's always going to be covered by the best guy or just double covered, like we always talk about. And if you had another guy to rely on, like Tyreek Hill, it would take away the pressure from that. But if you get a run game going, that opens up everything. Because if they got to
Yeah.
worry about the run, then they're like, all right, now we can't focus on Juju enough. Juju gets wide open, that's a 50-yard bomb down the middle. Same thing with like a guy like a speedster, McCall Hardman. If you give them their run down, if your run game is completely shut down, you got to rely on Travis Kelce being open often, which he is for the most part, but again, shut down sometimes by the best guy or double teamed. Then you got to rely on a guy like McCole Hardman, Juju Smith. I can't even remember. I don't even know the rest of the
Fucking
receivers.
Sky Moore, the
Yeah,
rookie.
like you need
Yeah.
their best game out of them that week. You can't rely on that every single week, and you can get a result like this, and that's not going to be good. So I mean, that could be their thing going forward. They might have to focus in on the run, something like that. I mean, I'm sure that probably has a positive correlation, and when they have the run game going, I'm sure they win probably 90% of those games. So yeah, that's a pretty good key right there. Pretty good insight right there, Bill Guy. Let's see. We had Eagles just absolutely dominated the Commanders. Nothing really too crazy to talk about. I mean, other than just fucking Carson Wentz having a shit game. I think he got sacked 9 times. I'm glad I picked up the Eagles defense after dropping the Colts defense in my fantasy league. So that helped out a lot. Eagles again in the question in the realm.
9 sacks. Jesus,
Yeah,
that is
in the
crazy.
realm. Yeah, in the realm for the Eagles of maybe too early to tell. I mean, they haven't had crazy competition. They got to play the Vikings. They shut them down entirely. But again, in this question, too early to call them legit. I don't know, but I mean, right now they're looking good. I think in a lot of power rankings, they're within the top 5 of a lot of power rankings. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, what was it last year or the year before, getting absolutely fucking trash bag embarrassed by the Buccaneers like 38-14, and they only scored those 14 points because of just everyone was getting rest time. So, I mean, they kind of come a long way. Devontae Smith finally had a nice little game. I think he had like 169 and 2 touchdowns. Jalen Hurts still looks pretty good. You can call him what it is. He's looking like what everybody wants, Kyler Murray / maybe what old Russell Wilson used to be or something like that. So he's looking good. Team all around's looking good. Defense is looking pretty dominant. Rush game's looking good. So I mean that checks all the boxes. They look a little legit to me. What do you think about them?
I honestly think this might be the number 1 seed coming out of the NFC, and that's it's crazy to say, but you look at the rest of their schedule. They don't play the Rams. They don't play the 49ers, who I know looked bad. Their toughest games this season, and again, I'm going to say this is their toughest games. They play the Packers end of November. They play
But in Philadelphia, right?
Yeah. They play the Packers in Philly, yes. Coming up not this week, but next week, the 9th, they play the Cardinals. And then other than that, like if you look at I'm just gonna name the rest of their opponents. Jaguars, Cardinals, Cowboys, Steelers, Texans, Commanders, Colts, Packers, tough game. Titans, Giants, Bears, Cowboys again, Saints and Giants. They don't play any of the mega teams in the NFC or AFC fucking West this year. Like they have a pretty fucking easy remaining schedule, and I just look at that and the way that they've played this year. I think they'll be the number 1 fucking seed in the NFC. And I know it's only week 3, but I really believe it looking at this schedule.
Yeah, I think it was just me. I think it was us doing the preview all season long. I think easily they could have just cracked 15 or 13 wins easy. Could be 15 possibly. And sure enough, with those 2 games right now being possibly their hardest 2 on the way out with the Packers and the Cardinals, like you said, none of those other teams that you rattled off sound any sort of like threatening.
No, not at all. Maybe the Eagles or maybe the Cowboys if they get Dak back on Christmas Eve. That could be, in Dallas. Could be a tough game.
That could be a
they
problem.
Always play each other hard, but you got
if
the
Saints
Giants
are legit, they could.
Yeah. You got the Saints at home. You got the Titans at home. You got the Packers at home. You got the Colts on the road. Could be a tough game.
Saints aren't the same team that they were, especially if Jameis Winston's leaking spinal fluid all fucking week long. I mean, that's not a good team right there. everything, like you said, everything else.
I
Maybe the
mean,
Bears can make a run for their money, but I'm sure that it's all in the cards for the Bears to just get absolutely
yeah,
pounced.
their
But
toughest fucking game might be this week against the Jaguars.
damn, oh yeah, no, true
How
enough.
crazy is that to say?
Yeah, no, and that's a good
Sounds
transition
nuts.
because I mean the Jaguars absolutely fucking just dismantled the Chargers. I don't know what it was
Yeah,
between injuries. I know Joey Bosa went down really early, but Austin Eckler had 4 rushing attempts for 5 yards. I don't really know what they did on the rushing attempt besides that. He was able to get the only reason he scored fantasy wise was just was in the passing game. But again, uh, Justin Herbert not looking good. He was obviously the cracked cartilage wasn't all too well with the ribs. I know he got a pain injection maybe a couple hours before the game was decided. That was his big game time decision to whether or not he was going to play. But no Keenan Allen. Mike Williams'
yeah,
his
and I
only
think that's really
reception.
hurting. That's
Yeah,
really hurting that
yeah,
offense. No
Mike
Keenan
Williams'
Allen.
only reception was for a touchdown.
Eh,
While that's good, I mean that was their only touchdown and only basically their only offensive score
That's Mike
besides the field
Williams
goal.
for you, baby.
Yeah,
He either
that's what it's
puts up
gonna do.
40 points or he's going to put up 6. If there's no in between, he's not going to have a solid 18-point performance for you.
Oh, that's disappointing. But yeah, it's just shit like that. It seemed like there was no fight, no fuss on the for the Chargers side. They gave up basically everything. Like I said, Joey Bosa going down definitely hurts their defense, but just 38 points from the Jaguars. That's fucking bad. I mean, I don't know if it's us counting out the Jaguars as much as we did, or if it was just us overhyping the Chargers as much as everybody else did, and we kind of did too,
Yeah, I
obviously.
think it
But
was, overhyping the Chargers, I'd lean
uh,
towards. Overhyping that entire AFC West.
yeah,
The
absolutely.
Broncos are cringy as fuck. The Raiders are the only team without a win in
Yep.
football. And the Chargers, yeah, you got an injured quarterback. That definitely takes away from it, but they've looked shitty.
Their
Uh, you
offensive
know,
line just took a
they've
big.
looked
I know
shitty too.
their center it just went down with a knee injury, and I think one of their guards or one of their tackles is now out
Yeah,
for the rest of the season.
Rashawn
Yeah.
Slater, the rookie from last year. He's one of the best young tackles in football. He's done for the season with a torn bicep.
Oh, that's a bummer for them in general. Yeah, like I said, that's
He's the
not
guy
looking
I
good.
wanted the Bears to fucking draft too over Tevin Jenkins, but
Oof.
look at us.
It's looking basically the same right now, and with all things considered. But yeah, that was a big blow to the Chargers' ego again to everyone that maybe they were like, oh, we're the smart money, we're gonna harp on the
Yeah.
Chargers to be the Super Bowl pick. Now looking, I mean, they're 1-2 right now, getting that Chiefs loss. I think they won week 1, but yeah, 1-2 right now so far. Not looking too great for the Chargers, especially all injuries considered. But yeah, nothing looking too great.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to get better. They got to
I
get.
got one name that I think everybody should be targeting right now in fantasy. Uh, going out, and I'll say it just because I have him on my teams already. I was high on him after week 2, and I think he just proved week 3 that he might be a legit threat. Is Zay Jones? So,
Ooh,
if Zay Jones is available in your leagues, 6 catches, 9 targets week 1, only 3 catches on 4 targets week 2. But he comes out against the Chargers, a great secondary, and has 10 catches on 11 targets, 85 yards, and 1 touchdown. I think he's, at least on ESPN, he's the 24th ranked wide receiver right now. Target him in your fucking fantasy leagues. I think he'll be one of the top waiver claims this week, all around the fucking fantasy football world, because I'm not going to say he's the number 1 target. I think that's definitely Christian Kirk, but
yeah,
he has the potential to take over that number 1 spot in terms of targets on that offense. So, and Trevor Lawrence it looks like he's figured it out. He's playing great so far this season. I think Zay Jones is going to be a good weapon going forward for that team.
yeah. You know what? I'm glad you brought up the other guy's name, Christian Kirk. You know what? I'll just be the first one to say it. I haven't heard anybody else say it either. I'm sorry, Christian Kirk. I doubted you. I didn't think you were going to be as good as you are. You are proving everybody wrong so far. He's got 6 catches in each one of his games, 117 yards receiving in the first, 78 and 72 in the second and third, and then he's got 3 total touchdowns as of right now, all 3 receiving. So, I'm sorry, Christian Kirk. Maybe you're going to earn your contract. I overstepped and I shouldn't have said what I said. You're going to be better. So I mean, it does help that Trevor Lawrence is actually a good quarterback. He's going to be, and he's dishing out pretty equally. So I mean, between him, Zay Jones, Marvin Jones Jr. there as well, and Christian Kirk living up to his contract as of right now. So
Yeah, as
maybe
of
the
right
Jet,
now, he
yeah.
definitely is.
At the beginning of the year, he could have got the Jags plus 800. I think they're like plus 300 to win that division right now. So maybe kind of missed out on an opportunity, but we'll see how that goes down the line. Uh,
I
maybe,
I
oh,
look up
God.
the name Kirk on fantasy football and just in the search bar, and I accidentally clicked on this dude named Kirk Merritt, uh, free agent wide receiver. I'm so sorry I accidentally clicked on him. Rostered in 0% of fantasy leagues. Usually there's like most of these no-name guys are at least in like
Yeah, as a
0.1% of
joke or
leagues.
something.
Yeah, Christian or Kirk Merritt rostered in 0% of leagues. I'm
0.00%.
sorry. I'm
Yikes.
so
You can be the
sorry.
one.
I
You can be the
accidentally
point
clicked.
one. You can be the
I
point oh
could.
oh oh
I'm
one.
doing
There
it.
you
I'm
go.
gonna
Do
do
it.
it and just immediately drop him just so it says he was rostered on
There
some
you
of these
go.
teams.
Congratulations. Maybe we'll get to the game
Mr.
that was supposed to be the exciting Bucks Packers game. The Falcons and the Seahawks had a game that should not have been as good as it was. But they had blows back and forth, back and forth. Looked like DK Metcalf had a nice game. Tyler Lockett, good little PPR game for fantasy. But the Falcons able to squeak one out. Cordell Patterson, he's been looking pretty good. He looked pretty good in the first week, not so good in the second week, but bouncing back in week 3, just jumped over a pile of people and just he looks like a man amongst boys sometimes, just running over people. It's kind of crazy. So again, I'm not going to apologize just yet because I think he's going to have some spots and here and there of games. But Cordell Patterson having a good little season so far. But this team is completely different because of Marcus Mariota. It's a completely different game script, all because of him. And it's him. I know Kyle Pitts got a little bit involved, but Drake London is looking fantastic. This Atlanta Falcons team is pretty okay. So I think the Falcons won that game if I'm not mistaken. I don't have the final score in front of my face,
Yeah,
but
27-23.
yeah. So Falcons looking okay. At the very least, they're looking okay. Did maybe you had any highlights or anything on this
On the
game in
flip
general?
side, of it, I was in a little trouble fantasy wise. Didn't know who to start in my flex between Rashad Bateman or Tyler Lockett yesterday with Mike Evans being suspended. And we go out to breakfast and we're driving down to the game, and I didn't set my lineup until about 11:45. I got a
Ooh.
little bit of signal in the fucking game or inside the stadium, and decided to go with Rashad Bateman and Tyler Lockett. Yeah, 9 catches, 76 yards on 11 targets. That 11 targets just make my fucking dick hard.
Dude, I mean,
I'm a
you can
big
hate on
target
Geno
guy.
Smith. You can hate on Geno Smith, but he finds his guys. He's looking for DK. He's looking for Tyler Lockett. He knows where his bread's buttered. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's where you want to go. Um, let's see right here. Get a little lighter on these games. Rams were just able to take care of struggling Kyler Murray and the Cardinals in general. I had one. I was kind of obviously sitting in the car ride going on my way to work, trying to figure out what I'm going to talk about on here. And I was obviously again thinking about the Texans, thinking about the Bears game. If the Cardinals didn't have Kyler Murray, would they be the Texans of the NFC? Or is this just my dumb brain being a dumb brain?
No, I could honestly see that. I mean, he's the only reason they've been in some of these games.
I
So,
mean,
yeah.
as of right now, you give them, I mean, yeah, DeAndre
Oh,
Hopkins,
all field goals from Matt Prater that didn't even score a touchdown
yeah,
yesterday?
mm-hmm.
Oh, that's sad.
Oh yeah,
That's
I know.
sad.
And then they had opportunity after opportunity. They should have probably went for a touchdown towards the end of the game, but no. Matt Prater comes out for his 4th field goal, thinking they can get into some sort of role, get the ball back. But the Rams' offense is just too much. So yeah. I don't. Again, box score not off the top of my head. Kyler Murray very unimpressive. Didn't turn the ball over. Didn't really rush too many yards. I think he had maybe like 260 yards on like 50 something attempts and whatnot. Stafford had an okay game. Cooper Kupp. I think he rushed in like a he rushed in like a 20 something yard touchdown. He's still Cooper Kupp. He's probably definitely worth it if you took him in the first round. Rams. They Sean McVay always seems to take care of the Cardinals, so he did it again. So that is what it is.
Fuck, I mean, PPR wise, Cooper Kupp is the highest scorer in fantasy so far this year.
That's
So
insane.
he,
That's insane.
yeah, a lot of people I know took him third, fourth, fifth overall, and oh my God, where do you take him that early? That's why right there,
Yeah,
because he's unstoppable running game, passing game. That dude gets everything in that offense. He is
he's
their
he's a
go-to
machine.
target.
Yeah, when you're the number one guy on the number one offense, you're gonna fucking score. Uh, Getting to a game that was an absolute snores fest. Panthers Saints. I didn't really see anything. I think Red Zone accidentally panned to this game. I didn't really see anything from it at all. I know McCaffrey had 100 yards rushing, but just an unimpressive win for the Panthers. I think again, like it's to the point where I just don't even remember if they won or not. I think it was like 22-16 win for the Panthers. Just a gross game. Saints are not going to be as good as I mean, really just we had some sort of like, are they going to be good at all? Is there going to be anything? No, as easy as that. Again, Jameis Winston broken back. I heard that, and it was to the point where like he's basically bleeding in his back, and I'm just like, ow, sit down, lay down, Jameis, do some. You don't need to be playing. Fuck.
I broke my back.
Yeah, dude, you fucking relax.
Spinal. Oh, that's still one of the funniest things ever.
Spinal. Yeah, if you had nothing on that, I mean, Bengals take care of the Jets. Sad Jets. It is what it is. I put my faith into the Jets and they lose again, as all Jets fans do. Uh
Have you seen
Ravens.
that video that's going around with the little kid? And he says, what does he say? He's like, whenever the Jets win, my dad takes me out for ice cream. And then everyone's like, you're not getting a lot of fucking ice cream, looks like, kid. That's every time. That's what I think of every time the Jets lose now is that kid not getting ice cream.
Well, he
Oh, I just farted.
might be a skinny kid or he might be a skinny adult when
And
he
be a
grows up
fucking
then.
sad kid,
Yeah.
fucking killing people up in Milwaukee
Oh
in his
my
fucking
God.
hotel room one day,
And then
eating their
yeah,
livers and shit. Come on,
the
get the
the
kid some
mo-
fucking ice cream.
how the
That's why
monster
Jeffrey
was.
Dahmer's a serial killer because his
Exactly. I
dad.
was just about to say that. He's going to turn to the next how monsters were made. He's like, I didn't get ice cream as a kid.
The fucking Joe Flacco threw 3 interceptions and I didn't get my fucking pecan sandy. What?
Oh Jesus. Yeah. So that was a tough one. A get right game for the Bengals that like we said, but I had some sort of hope in the Jets. I felt really good. I was gonna double down. I had plus 185 when I gave it out for the Jets money line, and I saw plus 240 in the morning. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll take that too. Fuck it. Give me some more Jets money. And I paid for it. Ravens beat the Patriots. Mac Jones goes down. Like I said, won't know for maybe like 2 or 4 weeks. High ankle sprain. But Lamar Jackson is absolutely going fucking crazy again in the realm of if we're gonna pay Roquan. I mean, not us, but if we're gonna pay Roquan, they also should probably pay Lamar Jackson over on the Ravens
Yeah,
side.
that man's gonna get fucking paid.
I'm pretty sure he's leading in passing, and he's like maybe
He's
he's up
top.
there in
He's like
rushing.
top like 5 or 6 in rushing. No,
Yeah.
he's top 4. He's top 4 in rushing. I did see that.
Jesus. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
it's insane.
that's nuts. And again, just a big game against everyone was counting I mean, only giving the Ravens 3 on the road in this aspect. I mean, for a while
Yeah,
it looked pretty good for the Patriots, but I don't know. In my mind, the Ravens had that covered, no doubt.
yeah.
Ravens get a
Now
win over the
I had
Patriots.
this thought yesterday, and tell me if I'm crazy. Tell me if give me your thoughts on it.
Shoot,
As good as this Ravens offense is, I think there are only 2 guys on that offense that you can consistently start in fantasy, and
Mark
that's
Andrews and Lamar
Lamar.
Jackson.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Am I right? Like any of these receivers, Devin Duvernay and Rashad Bateman,
Those
they're
are flex
all
spots at best.
exactly.
And they're like yeah, and
They're
they're like
big
12
play
man.
guys. Like
Yeah.
they're big play fucking guys who, and I found that out the hard way. Week 1 and 2, Bateman scores on 75-yard touchdown catches and then does nothing this week. And then the other way, I mean, you got Justice Hill, J.K. Dobbins, and even Devin Duvernay a little bit in the fucking run game. You can't trust either of those guys in the run game. So like, am I wrong by saying that? Those are the
Oh
only
no.
2 guys that you can safely start every
No.
week.
You can. Oh, I mean, I'll throw in if you're not going to count as a guy necessarily, but the Ravens defense, I'll count them as well.
Oh
But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, but Lamar,
Tucker for
yeah,
sure. Their defense
exactly.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, defense, Tucker, Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, and like you said, all those other names are if you're in a 12 man and you're like, ah, oh, fuck, I need a long shot flex spot or something like that. Do I go Devin Duvernay? Do I go Rashad Bateman? Do I go? I mean, right now, I mean, you're gonna need to get some a little bit of more games out of J.K. Dobbins to even throw him in that consideration in my mind. But yeah, everybody else besides those four, you could
Yeah.
not
Just I
considerably start over.
There was a guy at the Bears game, and like I said, everybody in our fucking section was going rowdy. We were all either gambling or checking our gambling or checking our fantasy football. And one of the guys in front of me, there was a group of maybe like 5, 6, 20-something-year-old dudes just hanging out at the game. One of them, he didn't scream it out loud, but he said it loud enough for everybody to hear. He's like, "What the fuck? J.K. Dobbins ain't doing shit right now." And I'm like, yeah. And I didn't say anything, but I'm like, yeah, this dude's coming off first game off of fucking reconstructive knee surgery
it's my
in an
favorite.
offense where Lamar Jackson is the go-to running back. Like, yeah, J.K. Dobbins isn't gonna do shit for you, buddy.
I know. I love that. Just recognizing dumbasses in public. When you're just like,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah. I was like, come on, like,
like,
okay, like
bro.
maybe give it a couple weeks, and if he does well, yeah, start him, and then you can complain. But his first start of the year, no, you can't complain that he got you 2 points.
Yeah, makes total fucking sense. That
Four
is,
points.
yeah.
Sorry,
I
whatever.
mean, even if he was still like the prominent starter and he didn't come off this injury, that's still in the realm of possibilities when you're a Ravens running back. I mean, Lamar Jackson
Yeah.
is the lead rusher for a reason. I mean, we'll see more out of the Ravens, obviously. Still keeping up with that. I think this is going to be such a crazy year for Lamar Jackson, obviously. Wrapping up on a couple more games. Lions cover again. They had that game
Hell, they
for
were
the most
winning this
part.
one too.
Yeah, they were winning it for the most part. They were able to shut down Justin Jefferson, thankfully. I mean, he only caught 3 passes for 14 yards, but everything else seemed to be working. I mean, Delvin Cook goes down. I think he said a notification just popped up. He said he's going to be day to day now with that shoulder injury. It said he dislocated that reoccurring shoulder that gets injured from time to time. They're gonna have to throw that device back on there, but I'm sure Alexander Madison will be on a lot of people's waiver wire pickups this week if they're not already wasn't already picked up late in drafts or something like that. But yeah, I mean, besides Dalvin Cook, I mean, Dalvin Cook goes down. You said DeAndre Swift, David Montgomery, a lot of big running back going down in the NFC North right now, looking like Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon are looking real good as of right now. Uh, I mean, just in general, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of injuries and shit that are happening all around, but yeah, that's seems to be the big three names as of right now. I
Yeah,
was
I
I
mean,
yeah.
The Lions were winning this one. They tied it up right before half, and then the Lions even took a 10-point lead in the third. And unfortunately, the Vikings put it away in the fourth with a Madison touchdown. KJ Osborne scores a touchdown. Yeah, it's a tough day for fucking Jay Jetta. I can't be calling people donkeys anymore. At least the last not the last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I can't. Um, but hell, I mean, again, this is
tough
another
one.
one of those good losses. Like
Yeah,
you
but
lost to the
Dan
Vikings
Campbell, I don't
by
know if you
4.
saw. Dan
You
Campbell was
lost.
afterward was very emotional. He said he wished he didn't make some sort of decision. I think he either going for the 53 yarder and that ended up missing or something like that, or
Oh, okay.
not taking that or something like that. He said he messed up again. Still a guy, even with, like you said, a good loss. This isn't a loss where I think any guys or any like fan base members are going to like lose faith in Dan Campbell
No, not at
again.
all.
No one's in the realm of Detroit. I mean, maybe besides the one Detroit Lions fan that's a hardo, but no one's in the realm of Detroit Lions are doing this year. No one's in the realm of Detroit Lions are winning everything. So this is, like you said, a good loss. It sucks. But you put up a good fucking fight against a team where we were saying last week or in week one, maybe in the week all preseason, we're like, this is a Vikings team that can win the division. Maybe possibly if they get it all together, win the NFC. So kudos to them. Good kudos to the Lions on just making it look
No, man,
respectable.
100%. And you know what? I feel bad for the Lions or I feel bad for the Seahawks this week because
Oh,
I think the
really?
Lions at home are going to pummel the Seahawks.
Oh,
They have the Lions -6 right now. I'm taking it minus 13.5.
I love that.
I think the Lions
that.
are going to butt fuck the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks got a lucky week 1 win all because of the Russell Wilson storyline, and they're just going to be a terrible team after that. And I think the Lions are going to rip off some kneecaps, and they might bring in Eminem and rhyme porridge with orange and orange or whatever the fuck they did in Hard Knocks, and they're going to get a win in fucking Detroit. And
I like that.
yeah, they're gonna get
At
them
the
back
very
to
least, I'm gonna
500.
take the over. I don't know what that over is looking like, but that sounds a juicy fucking over. I'll take that.
Let's see. Over is 50 right now. Set at
Oh,
50.
oh, hammer.
Yeah,
That's
and you
gonna
know
be
what else? You know what else I love that I noticed about this game? I always love when this happens. The over under for the Vikings and Lions game was set at 51.5, and the total was 52. So
Ooh,
love it when it's right on that
love
fucking
that.
line.
Give me that hook every time. Oh shit. And then yeah, we had last
I
little
don't even
game.
want to talk about the Sunday night game.
Oh yeah, no, that game, and there was just literally one
I
other
fell
game.
asleep during it.
Yeah,
Fell asleep.
Raiders Titans. There was just
Oh
one
yeah, the
one
fraud fest.
yeah, one team needed to win that game, and it was the Titans. So I guess that's really it on my end. There was a couple opportunities for the Raiders to take advantage. They just didn't really do anything. Like you said earlier, they are the only team that is currently winless so far in the year. Sucks to suck. I know Mike is loving it because Devontae. He's like, oh, you left Devontae Adams, you left the Packers. How's it feeling now? Well, he's still probably going to be okay. The Raiders are going to need to do some sort of digging to be any sort of good now. But yeah, this was kind of the fraud fest. Derrick Henry kind of had a big game. If you had him in fantasy, I was saying that he's going to have next couple of weeks. He's going to have some big possibilities for some big games. So don't be so bad down and out
Yeah,
on Derrick
85
Henry.
yards on the ground and a touchdown. Also had 5 catches for
Yeah,
58. So
that's his like
that's a big
receptions on the
breakout
year.
there.
That's what he
Yeah,
does the entire
exactly.
year. So yeah, good shit for Derrick Henry. Again, like you said, fraud fest. Um, these teams are going to be bad. Again, one of these teams had to win with this, or they could have tied, but that's terrible. Broncos suck balls. They barely beat the 49ers. They win me a little bit of money. I took the Broncos money line right at the end because there's some guy that the famous the Greg on DraftKings or whatever the fuck he's terrible at betting, so I just fade him every single fucking time. And sure enough, you're able to make a little money. So yeah. If you don't really want to talk about it, there's nothing really to talk about.
Yeah, I fell asleep. And honestly, my plan yesterday was come home, take a shit, take a shower, eat dinner, watch this game, and then go to bed. I decided to take a little nap in the middle of this game so I can stay up and watch House of the Dragon instead.
There
So
you go.
Jimmy G steps out of the back of the end zone, joins Dan Orlovsky as some of the biggest clowns of all time. Yeah, this was just a terrible game. I did take the under, but unfortunately the Bills lost. So fuck the Bills. Ruined my
Primetime
fucking
unders are
parlay.
fucking hitting like a 66, 65 or 67% clip. So
Yeah.
hop on those primetime unders. They have sometimes they have some good matchups. I know we're kind of getting a what is it going to be It's going to be Bengals and oh geez, what's the next Thursday night going to be?
Isn't
I
it
don't think it's gonna be
Bengal? Oh, I forgot. I just looked at it earlier.
Bengals
Um,
Titans or something like that.
I'm gonna look it up right now. It
Yeah,
is
we're
Bengals Dolphins.
okay. So I mean, on
Yeah.
paper, I mean, a couple years ago, that would have been like the usual Thursday night game, but
Yeah, we
actually
got
now,
Bengals. Yeah, we got Bengals Dolphins this Thursday. Chiefs Bucks Sunday night, and then Rams Niners Monday night.
okay, all right, yeah. So yeah, got some primetime games coming up. Obviously, we got this Monday night game coming on later tonight. I know no one's gonna be able to lock in any bets by the time I get this up or whatever, but any real predictions on this Monday night game other than I mean, you already said Giants, and you think the Giants are
Giants
gonna take it.
win. Julian Love 3 interceptions, 14 tackles, 1 defensive touchdown.
There you
Julian
go.
Love league MVP.
Yeah, at the very least, I'll just take the under. I really don't mind. I got no skin in this game. I already sealed one of my fantasy wins that I really care about.
Let's see,
So
line at 38.5.
I don't
Pretty
care.
low there.
I'll
Yeah.
take that. I'll take it lower. I'll take it at 33. I don't think anyone scores more than 17 points or something like that. I don't know. These teams are a little on the stinky side. in my opinion. Cooper Rush doesn't, like I said, he doesn't prove anything to me. The Giants defense lock him down in any sort of way. That's going to be cool. The Giants can win this game. I don't really mind. I threw a little parlay together, but it doesn't. Like I said, I'm not committed to it. As a free bet on PointsBet. PointsBet code SYS9. You go ahead and join that with that code. You can
Yeah,
not
a
only
lot of injuries, too for both sides.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, join in on points, but you can get some free bets like I've been doing, put together a little parlay. So yeah, I got some injuries on that end. I think Kadarius Toney isn't playing for. You got a lot, got a lot of receivers
Even if
on
he
that
does
end.
play, he doesn't really play,
Yeah, and
so
I
it
think
doesn't
yeah,
matter.
and a guy like Kenny Galladay. I mean, I'm pretty sure we talked about it. He cleaned out his locker. He's not. He just doesn't play. He's just not there for snaps. So when Daniel Jones' number one guy is oh Jesus, I already
Hey,
Richie Jennings and
Richie James or
Richie
whatever. Yeah,
James. Oh Jesus,
stupid.
see, I used in my parlay and I already butchered his name. So Richie James and like Sills are his like number one and number two guys. Like you got a little bit of a problem, but I mean Saquon Barkley could still have a nice little
Hey,
game.
I honestly would not mind bringing a guy like Sterling Shepard or Kenny Galladay to the Bears.
Hey,
You would get them
no,
for absolutely.
not Kenny Galladay,
Why
not
not?
Kenny
I
Galladay.
would
He's
take those
too
dudes
much
for
fucking money,
absolutely.
too much money, and he's dog shit.
Yeah, I
He's
guess
straight up dog
the
shit.
money would suck. Yeah,
No,
the
he's
money
straight up
would
dog
suck.
shit. I'll take the money. The money consideration is like for the number one like glaring thing, but besides that, I mean, proving right now that if he's just gonna like clean out his locker room and say "fuck you, I'm out," that's already up. That's a character problem, and he's just terrible. He's not. When you see him on film all preseason, he was god awful. So I'm gonna let you. I'm not gonna harp on you too crazy on Kenny Galladay, but I'm not. I don't
I'd
want
have
to
to
see
see.
him.
I'd have to see
Sterling
what his
Shepard,
fucking contract looks like.
Shepard, I'm fine with that, dude. It's to the point if they cut him, they would have like 17 million in dead cap. They couldn't
Oh,
do
okay,
any
so yeah,
fucking
it's
thing.
a 4 year deal. I probably
Yeah,
wouldn't do that either if I'm a
yeah.
Bears. If it was like a 2 year deal, I wouldn't mind eating the money for a
He's
year.
he's
But yeah,
untouchable.
4 years, no, he is.
He's untouchable for all the wrong reasons. Don't touch, don't sniff Kenny Galladay. You don't want him getting on your fucking clothes. You don't want nothing to do with him. You want nothing to do with Kenny Galladay.
4
Uh,
years, 72 mil, $28 million
yeah,
guaranteed.
that's that's
Hey, I'd take him if
that's
the
terrible.
Giants took some of that guaranteed money off our
They
hands.
will
I mean,
not.
oh
they
yeah,
will.
they definitely won't.
They will not do that. Considering, like I said, if they're gonna fall, that's gonna be the fallout. Is basically just saying "fuck you," and just clearing out his locker and all that bullshit. They're not gonna do anything. So I guess yeah, we're for the you're gonna be for the Giants. That's fine. That's cool. I'll go under. Uh, the only other thing they announced this morning, I saw no more Pro Bowl, no more traditional Pro Bowl game that will be played. I mean, kind of made sense after the just complete lackadaisical, what was like a 77-70 ball game last year between the NFC and the AFC. No one gave a fuck. No one tackled nobody. But now it's basically just gonna be a skills competition. I really didn't look into the details. I saw that and just immediately dismissed it because I mean it's just Pro Bowl news. But now I'm thinking about it, just cut all of it in general and just make it like a fan fest, make it like a WWE access type event. Just get all of the Pro Bowl nominees, make it the same way. Vote in the best guys, vote in the most famous guys, get them all in the same fucking big room, big vicinity, and then just let all the fucking high school kids, let the kids come in and you do drills with them and you sign everything and you let a big other group and it's just an autograph meet and greet. That's literally all people want and all people want to do. They don't want to see the dodgeball game. They don't want to see Russell Wilson fucking throw 50 yards into
See,
a
I don't mind that stuff. I would rather see that over
I,
the fucking joke of the game that they play.
I'm fine with just nothing happening and then just going down to Hawaii for a big vacation, making it a big. You can make it a big expenditure, make it a big charity event slash like. Oh, you can't buy tickets. We're raffling tickets off. This is an exclusive event that you can only get this shit here. You can only make it a big fucking capitalistic event that fucking everyone goes crazy for. And you're like, oh, what's the number one ticket destination? We're going to Hawaii for this NFL meet and greet thing. It's the one thing a year, and you can only get the signature here. It's just shit like that. I feel like that should be the way to do it. Not let's have a fucking who can juggle the most tennis balls, and then let's fucking throw them all into a net from 50 yards away. That seems like it just seems like a waste of time for everyone. I mean, maybe the players get some sort of kick out of it, but if I'm like an offensive lineman and I get nominated and I got to go down there to go do something stupid like that, I'd be like, I just want to be with my family. I'd rather do that. Or just, like I said, you could just do some giveaway thing. I don't know. That's just me. That's just where my head was at. Doing anything in general for that just seems fucking stupid, other than just what, like I just said. Any thoughts, or what's your what's up?
I just seen a stat. Daniel
Uh
Jones is 0-8 in primetime games.
Oh, all right.
Oh,
Might have
dude.
to. I mean, that and I think the Cowboys are like 9-1 in their last 10 games against the Giants. So I mean, it's not the same Cowboys team coming in. You don't have Dak. You don't have Amari Cooper. You don't really, I mean, Zeke is still shit. You don't have that offensive line there, but on paper, somewhat, I don't know. Cooper Rush is okay, but I still like CeeDee Lamb better than any receiver on the Giants. But you give the Giants, I guess maybe the Giants defense. I don't know if Micah Parsons might not be playing for the Cowboys, but I mean, yeah, I'll still give Barkley the edge on the rushing game for the Giants. Passing game might be for the Cowboys. Defense kind of up in the air. We'll see how that goes. But the coaching, obviously, the head coach of the Giants, I'll give him the tip there. He's gonna want it. He's gonna want it bad. So we'll see how that game goes. You're all good on that? Yeah, if
I
you're
think
all
in
good on
terms of
that.
the Pro Bowl, I don't know what they're
Oh
fucking
yeah,
they're gonna do.
yeah,
Like in
Pro
terms
Bowl.
of entertainment, they should just have like a big VR game. Fuck it. Have
That's
them
fine.
play like a Madden tournament. I
That's
don't
fine.
fucking know.
Fuck it. Do that too. Who cares? And then again, just get more fan interaction. Let it be Tua versus a fucking the 10-year-old prodigy that plays Madden or something like that. Or not, maybe not Tua, but whoever is a big, I don't know, the best NFL gamer. I don't know, maybe like
Tariq Cohen.
Tariq Cohen, Tyreek Hill, Kyler Murray. You had to play Kyler Murray in
Oh,
Call of
you get to play
Duty.
Kyler Murray 1v1 Russ.
Yes, exactly. That's
Yes,
the type of
would
things
be
you can
fun.
do if you did my idea, but they're not going to because they're dumb. So there you go.
Or you bring in Richard Sherman and like Kareem Hunt, and you
Bro.
see who can beat their wife better.
Bro, the fact that he has a job is beyond me. And I think
Yeah,
like
dude, he has a podcast now. Fucking,
that
he's a
like he's just
competition.
on he's on Prime Video when he's doing halftime stuff. And I'm just every time I'm just like, are we just gonna pretend like wasn't about to get his fucking brain shot out like 9 months ago by his girlfriend's dad? I don't know what we're doing here. I can't believe like the cloak of invisibility on our brain just goes over that and just like, all right, well that just didn't happen. Welcome to the team, Richard. That baffles me. Like I said, that about wraps up professional NFL
Hey,
football
one
for me.
last
But
thing,
yeah, go ahead.
football.
Yeah.
Rihanna gets the fucking halftime show. No more Taylor
Hey,
Swift. Thank God. I don't want to
there
see
you go.
Taylor Swift swinging about her fucking. I'm on the phone with my boyfriend. Shut up. No one gives a fuck about your 7,000 ex-boyfriends. You're a whore, and I'd rather see. Rihanna's gonna kill it. I love
Yeah.
Rihanna. She's beautiful, gorgeous voice. She better sing that Umbrella song. That's one of my favorite songs out there. She's gonna have some fucking some other big name singers and groups or whatever up there with her too. So
Yeah.
maybe even bring Eminem out. Fucking Detroit Lions Super Bowl this year. Lions fucking Chiefs. Who knows? Bring out Eminem. He can sing some. What's that song with
Stan,
the?
I don't know. He's got everything.
Yeah, that's me, burn. Cause that's all
Oh,
right.
yeah. I
Really
don't know.
dumb
I
song.
don't
I
know.
don't
They
know.
all got a song
Well,
together.
love the way you lie. That's what
There
it's
you
called.
go.
Love the way you lie. Love the way you beat me,
Oh my
Kareem
god.
Hunt. Good job.
What? That took a
Hey, some
turn.
some chicks like that. Look at Trevor Bowers,
Not
dude.
any of them I know. I mean,
Oh,
that's
thank God it's
yeah.
nobody we fucking know.
Yeah.
It's all
No
it's,
one.
it's always the fucking millionaires. They're the ones that get these crazy chicks. I wonder why.
I think so. Yeah, between that or
Yeah.
was it Army Hammer eating those girls or something like that. So yeah, you gotta
Who? What? Ate
yeah.
who?
The guy that played the Winklevoss twins in the Social Network, that's Army Hammer or something like that. I think that's how his name. It's literally his name. He's into like he said I'm a cannibal. He's like messaging
Oh
broads.
yeah,
Yeah, is
yeah, I
that
remember
guy?
that
Is that
now.
guy? So yeah,
What
I
a
mean,
fucking weirdo.
you got some fucking crazies out there, man. But speaking of crazies, you had a bunch of crazy college football things. We'll get into some crazy. I mean, the only fucking crazy outcome I'd really have any notes on anything to really look at is Stephen F. Austin beat Wagner 98 to nothing. And I watched the quick highlights. I mean, you can call it what it is. At that point, if you're Wagner, I feel like it's more disrespectful. Jesus Christ.
I don't
At,
know what that was.
yeah, put your phone on mute there, Jim.
Jeez.
At that point, if you're getting dogged 98 to nothing and they take a knee on the last play, just go for the two and put up 100 on us. I'd rather you do that than fucking just sit there and be like, okay, now we'll ease up on you. Fuck that. Uh, yeah, 98 nothing looks brutal. They played fucking awful. I couldn't even find like a box score. That's how bit like Stephen F. Austin and Wagner. Good luck finding that fucking box score. That was a tough one. Uh,
Yeah,
besides
that's why I
that,
don't watch college football.
yeah.
That
Besides
exact
that,
reason. Nobody wants to watch that.
yeah. But well, besides we do have one guy that wants to watch it. Our boy Troy with a little bit of a Troy update. We got sit her in, strap her down. We got a couple minutes here for our boy Troy. So let's see. Maybe a Kentucky update. Maybe a little bit on Green Bay. Maybe on him beating Allen in fantasy. We'll see how that
Ooh.
goes. So get it in. This is Troy, everybody.
What's up, my favorite podcast? I am here to give a Kentucky update, so Alan, take your notes. Kentucky started out 4-0. We won, which means, Alan, we won every single game in September. We beat Youngstown State, we beat NIU, we beat Florida, and we won the opener. And Allen, the Gators aren't the only ones to take a big loss in their second game of the week, because you blew a lead to me. Thank you, Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen, and the Buffalo Bills for catching me up and giving me that win against that fucking crock. Anyway, here's the October schedule now. We have Ole Miss, South Carolina, Mississippi State, the bye week in Tennessee. There's only one bad week in there, and that's the bye week. And that's only because the DAAAgenerates podcast cannot win money when Kentucky has a bye week.
That's true.
It is somehow impossible for people to win money when Kentucky doesn't play. I haven't figured that part out yet because I wasn't the greatest at science in school. I mean, I got a fucking D in biology.
Thank you.
In high school. No joke. But hey, who gives a shit? Fix cars and figure out how Alan goes from crocodile to alligator from day to day anyway. And Alan, our series is now tied 1-1. You blew a bigger lead to me in this fantasy game than the Atlanta Falcons blew in this fucking Super Bowl. I promise you, Alan, you wanted to sweep me. I promise you this. If you want me at Turkey Bowl, if the DAAAgenerates give me the okay to be there,
You're there.
You better hope and pray that I have a really bad day of throwing and I have hands like you, with a highly doubt, but because I have a stronger arm than you anyway. But anyway, I'm not saying that you don't want to face me in Turkey Bowl. I don't want to say you want to face me in Turkey Bowl. I want you to call in and let us know if you want to face me one last time at Turkey Bowl, because I will expose you for being a horrible football player.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
That could have got violent.
Hopefully you have a day like Jay Cutler has usually when he faces the Packers, because he always threw a lot of interceptions. And you never said, and I'm sorry, Alan, I got ahead of myself. If Alan wants me at Turkey Bowl and the DAAAgenerates invite me, then yes, I will accept. Thank you all for letting me call in with Kentucky updates. I hope that the DAAAgenerates won a lot of money off Kentucky football. And fuck Josh Donaldson.
Goddamn right. Fuck Josh Donaldson. You're there, Troy. We've said this multiple times. You are there for the Turkey Bowl. Thank you as always for the Kentucky update. And I'll answer your quick question as well. Why can't we win money during the bye week? It's because they don't play. You can't bet on them if they do not play. So it's as simple as that, my guy. Other than that, keep it coming in. Yeah, that he went ahead and sent me the screen cap. Allen blew a huge lead. He was up 121 to 47, I believe. And yeah, sure enough, like Troy said, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, and he rattled off one other name, all helping him out in that Monday night game. Helped me out as well. So thank you, Stephon Diggs. We both love you. Get well soon. Hopefully he isn't cramping up as bad as he was in the end of the week. But yeah. Take your notes, Alan. You got no sweep for you. No sweep for you. Get back in the Turkey Bowl. There you go. That's our Kentucky, or that's our Kentucky update. That's our college update. That's our check-in with Troy. What's up?
I'd rather have fucking I'd rather be throwing the ball to freaking Troy than Allen. That dude can't catch a fucking cold in the middle of the winter, dude, let alone a football. So I don't know. That dude couldn't catch a STD at fucking Arizona State,
There you go.
Wherever the fuck Mr. Matariza went to school. There's plenty of shit going around there. But yeah, you're more than fucking welcome, but I'll fucking throw you some dimes all day.
Oh yeah, big time. Let's see. We got no more football, no more college, no more professional. We got nothing really too crazy in any other realm. No hockey. Wrestling. There was the only thing funny going around is Bobby Fish. I guess the leaked text messages of him talking to Triple H. But then he ends up on Impact, so I guess it doesn't really matter. So I guess that's funny. So go check that out on the internet. Yeah, he's not important at all. Who really cares? But yeah, just the idea that he's like. I was doing this with Mike at the apartment. He's like, "Hey, Bobby going up to like Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly." He's like, "Hey, yeah, I'll go tell Hunter." And then Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole are like, "Let's go sign extensions. Fuck this." And I think that's exactly what they did. Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole are set for like the next 4 years in AEW. So,
oh, did they really?
Yeah, they did it a couple months ago. Bobby Fish was the only one that wasn't set for long term. Yeah, he was the only one that wasn't set for any long-term deal. So who cares? Better luck next time. He was the one that wanted to fight CM Punk anyway, so fuck him. That's basically wrestling. Capital Collision will be for free on YouTube for any New Japan fans, so that'll be pretty cool as well. And that's about it. I got the AEW's cool too. A little bit of WWE if you wanted to check in on that, but there's nothing really. And like I said, no hockey, no real basketball. Lonzo Ball is going to be out probably the beginning of the season. Who cares? Lonzo Ball, fuck him. And yeah, that really gets down to MLB. The last little thing, probably the last time I'm going to be mentioning the White Sox is going to be no real reason. I'll just get into it because I'll end on a happy note of Albert Pujos finally making, we talked about it earlier, but hitting 700. The White Sox. Let's get into little mini recap. I mean, sure enough, if you've been keeping up every single week, we've had the weekly recaps, and that's sure enough, and that's been nice and fine. But you've heard everything I wanted to say about this White Sox team for almost a year now. This was on paper. We've had the most talent in a while, and just one way or another, every single way, just along the way, no one really could get it right. They just all decided to take a shit all at once. And we can pinpoint. Well, let me get back to the actual thing that happened currently. Got swept by the Tigers, officially eliminated from any playoff contention. Guardians doubled down, and I'm pretty sure they swept every single game against the Rangers. So yeah, swept us the week games prior. So that's fine. We're done. We're out. No hope. We suck. Better luck next year. I don't know. There's gonna be a lot of things to consider. A lot of things that are up in the air. Don't know what they're going to be doing with Jose Abreu. Don't know what they're going to be doing with maybe like a guy like Yasmani Grandal. I want Moncada gone. I want better pitching. I want better pitching, not just in the arms, but I want people to improve. The only thing that I'm really positive and high up on is Andrew Vaughn, Dylan Cease, Michael Kopech. Shout out to them for having great years, but I mean, just no powers in any sort of bats. We're relying on guys like Larry Garcia. I mean, that's because of Tony La Russa. Tony La Russa, a whole different story all season long. So this is literally the definition of what underachieving looked like, what it was, what it is. This is what it is. This was a bad team. Not a bad, again, not bad talent wise, but just not able to put it together in any sort of way. We saw glimpses of it in small spurts, never really able to put it together for long, big amounts of time. No crazy win streak, nothing more than maybe 6 games. Not all too impressive again when we have Yasmani, we have Moncada, we had Tim Anderson for a while, we have Eloy for a little while, we have Luis Robert, Abreu. When you just have all these top tier talent names, you just can't get it done. Andrew Vaughn can't get it fucking done. You're going to be a fucking laughing stock. And you can, again, there's just so many things that we can sit here and lack on, but whether it was just not getting it done against the division, we fucked up here and there against the Guardians. Against the Twins, against the Guardians. Just I don't have any of the numbers in front of me, but I'm pretty sure we probably just split right down the middle or kept it. Probably lost a game or two in their favor. So not looking good there. Injuries galore. I mean, from top to bottom, no one was fucking healthy. Never had the number one lineup, maybe more than 6 games throughout this entire year. Is it a big blow? Yeah, sure. But again, we say it every single time. Every other team in this league is going to experience injuries. They get past it, and other teams are better for it, or sometimes in that way. And they're able to get past it and still win their division. Yet we were just not able to figure it out in any sort of way, struggling time and time again, being third in the division, being second, sniffing first for a little bit, but ultimately just fucking off all in general. And like I said, hopefulness, there's a little bit, but right now, none at all. Didn't want to go to the game at all when I went early on, and sure enough, Sox just had no hope. Like I said, body language left and right, and if it's the main thing from all this ranting and raving is just get Moncada away from this team. I want him gone. That won't solve any issues right away, but for the long term, for the short term, maybe, I don't know, but yeah, again, this is the most disappointed I've been in a long time. Maybe since last year, just straight up losing to the Astros. But again, we're in that realm of even if they do something, even if they are there, they're not going to win against the Astros. They're not going to beat the Yankees. They're not going to beat the Dodgers. Hell, I wouldn't even put them up against the Mariners. I think the Mariners would probably end up beating us in a 7-game series. So there wasn't enough hope. There wasn't enough fucking drive in these guys. Just sometimes maybe just the talent wasn't there. But I mean, in terms of name power and all these things, there just wasn't there. I feel like that's it. This will be, for the benefit of not, I mean, this is probably one of the longer episodes that we put up in a minute, but for the benefit of the show not being 2.5, 3 hours long for the next couple of weeks, maybe it is good that the White Sox got eliminated. So for the sake of us and for the sake of me not having to pull my fucking hair out and watch any more White Sox games really for the rest of the year, fine. I'll take it. Get eliminated. It's whatever. On to the next year. White Sox win the World Series next year. That's it. White Sox. Do you have anything on them?
No, that's yeah, I mean, until we do our little fucking playoff preview, pick some teams, that pretty much wraps it up on baseball, Chicago wise, north and south side. Nothing going on with the fucking Cubs either. Nothing worth talking about. I guess, yeah, we could wrap it up with, I mean, the good news, the fucking big news coming out of the baseball world. Albert Pujos finally did it. Get 700 home runs. He does it on the road in Los Angeles, and I can confirm Zach Hampel did not catch either of those balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a cool fucking moment. Unfortunately, didn't get to watch it live, but hanging out with the girlfriend, we were actually watching the Dahmer show and got the notification. Immediately had to go watch both the home runs.
Yeah.
I
actually almost caught it, but then I realized I was in 2 time zones away watching the White Sox getting fucking manhandled by the Detroit Tigers. So I missed it by like that much times like a million bajillion because I was in fucking 17 states away.
Yeah, it was
sorry.
It was cool to see. He had the biggest fucking smile on his fucking face going around the bases. Good good for him. We sort of knew it was going to happen. We were hoping it was going to happen.
Absolutely.
I remember having these conversations at the beginning of the season and wondering if he was actually going to get it. And we were very skeptical just because we knew how much he was, actually going to play. We didn't think it was going to be a lot, but last month and a half, he's been going off, hitting home runs left and right, killing left-handed pitching. The 700th home run actually comes off a righty, so that was a little.
That's the thing, yeah. That's what I thought. He came off a righty, and in my mind, I'm like, maybe they shut him down for the rest of the year, but no, the Cardinals are right there. They might need him. They're gonna need his bat, even
for sure they
remainder
will.
of the season.
For sure they will.
Just for playoff seeding right now, that's pretty important. I know the Dodgers locked up the number 1 spot for without a doubt. They're gonna get the bye and everything, but just to get the better. Maybe the playoff, you just get home field advantage in the first round. You're going to need to win out some of these games. And it's kind of locked in that the Cardinals are going to win their divisions. But
yeah, I know. And just the shot of youth, I guess the youth, the old Pujols just sort of coming back for the last month and a half. And same thing with even Adam Wainwright this season is just. Obviously, you got MVP play from from Goldschmidt and even Arenado. You got great pitching, great defense all throughout that team. Everything's just clicking for them. Yeah. And I think they're a very underrated team going into this fucking playoffs because of those reasons.
Just like they are every year. If they get hot right at the end of the season, they could be a team that hey, dark horse for the World Series. Sometimes that's just how it is. Maybe last year, because I think they were a wild card spot. Obviously, that kills the momentum with the one game. But that kind of kills it right there. But you get them in a series, it's gonna be it could be a dogfight. It could be back and forth here and there. But that's gonna be fun. Watching the Cardinals has been cool all year, and obviously. Yeah, maybe he can go over 700 now. I don't know.
Yeah. I hope so. I hope he just fucking keeps smashing, keep going until you fucking can't no more. Like we said earlier in the podcast, fourth guy all time to join the 700 club. There's always going to be the asterisk next to Bond for me, at least. I know a lot of people say there isn't, but that's okay. We don't have to agree. And Babe Ruth played a bunch of fucking steel workers, so I don't know if those really count either. But Pujols is gonna go down, one of the best right-handed hitters of all time, right next to Miguel Cabrera, right next to Hammer and Hank Williams, or not Hank Williams.
You just want him back so bad.
Hank Williams, I want him back. It's Monday night, baby. We need him back, not these hippie hipsters singing all these fucking techno songs on Monday night. I need Hank Williams, Hank Aaron, the true fucking home run king. Those three go down. You could debate till the cows come home which one's the best right-handed hitter of all time. But I'll just say, as a Cubs fan, I've always respected Pujols. He's my favorite non-Cub, probably my favorite non-Cub of all time. There's a couple other guys that contend for that title of favorite non-Cub, but for being able to watch him, my entire life basically beat up on the fucking Cubs, recognizing greatness when you see it. As much as I hate to see it or hate to say it, it's been the same thing with fucking Aaron Rodgers. Hate the fucking guy, but he's one of the fucking best, and so is Pujols. So we'll miss him. We'll miss him if this truly is the end. And if this is the end, that's one hell of a way to go out, getting into the fucking 700 club and going out. I'm saying, definitely going to be a fucking playoff team. So congratulations to Albert Pujols.
Yeah, that was awesing. And
the divorce is final too. He's a single man after this. Imagine the hell he's going to raise.
Oh, hell yeah. I think the only thing I had was you brought it out. Yeah, Zach Hampel did not catch him. The only thing I saw was over on Reddit, and the baseball r/baseball had basically a point of view camera of the guy catching the ball and just being caught it, freaking out. He's showing everybody, he's like, oh fuck yeah, and then I'll congratulate him and whatever. And then they got the police officer and then one of the workers to escort him, get it authenticated, and from reports the person just left the building. And you know what? Considering you're out in Los Angeles, makes a ton of sense. You're already in the 65% chance of getting stabbed, and then it increases finding out that you have a valuable baseball in your possession. So makes a ton of sense. I don't know what the plan is again. I mean, in terms of Albert Pujols, he said all to the guys. Same thing for the whoever had the 698 ball that passed Alex Rodriguez. All the power to him. He said, do whatever you want with it. It's that. I'll have. He's gonna have. He has
enough baseballs,
dude. I mean,
he has enough baseballs on his fucking mantle.
I mean, yeah, between that or just like, yeah, I mean, maybe at the end of his life, you'd be like, maybe I should have got that or whatever. But just like you got so much, you did everything. You're Albert fucking Pujos. I don't know. I don't think the baseball really defines what it is, but either way, he's the guy that has that ball. Dude, be responsible with it. I'll keep it at that and leave it at that.
I'm honestly surprised he didn't get stabbed. I mean, they paralyzed the Giants fan because he had a fucking Giants foam finger, and this guy catches $1 million baseball and they're patting him on the back. So good on the fucking people of Los Angeles. Maybe they're
at least that outfield section. Yeah,
they're getting better.
It seemed like he was a teenager, like a kid almost. So I mean, it's gonna be a tough look when you're fucking pummeling on a 14-year-old. You're like, I caught the ball. Like, oh no, you're gonna get fucking manhandled after that too. So, yeah, we'll see. You be checking in on that again. Yeah, Zach Campbell's kicking up dirt. Fucking, he's motherfucking. I can't. I gotta sit in my seat. This motherfucking. Yeah, so he's fucking freaking out. Good. Fuck him. He's gonna have to. I guess he would have to wait and go get Aaron Judge's home run, which everyone's. I mean, you kind of made this make sense. But the overhype of this Aaron Judge watch, it was K-Rod, the Clemens and A-Rod, their own fucking broadcast on ESPN the other day. Like, I know I get it. They're doing Boston versus Yankees, but right now with the Red Sox falling off a cliff like they usually do right now, the rivalry meant nothing. It just seemed like a whole fucking circle jerk session for everybody just to talk about home runs and stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, you had something on just the pressure of what this is right now. So yeah,
just the amount of pressure that has to be on Aaron Judge right now is ridiculous. Not only he's front runner for the American League MVP. I know a lot of people say Shohei Ohtani, but we read the stats last week. He's leading like 22 categories offensively in the American League. He's going for the Triple Crown. That's, you got the MVP. That's weighing on his ass. You got the home run record with Roger Maris, the Yankee single season record. He needs 1 to tie, 2 to win. He's got the Triple Crown, which as of today, he's still first in batting average, first in home runs, first in RBIs. So that's the third thing weighing on him. I mean, not even overshadowing, just put all those things aside and think of what this guy had going on before this season. I mean, hasn't put together a complete season his entire career. All this hype and potential around this guy. This is a contract year for him. The Yankees, or I think the Yankees offered him a contract. He denied it, or turned it down.
Yeah.
And just him going to be going into this offseason looking to get that, that massive payday. This dude has so much fucking pressure on him right now. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't hit another home run. Like, I'm on, and plus on all of that, they're about to win their division and go on a fucking playoff run, which you also have to think about. So like, there is so much on this guy right now. And yeah, I think it is a little much. Like, I'm sitting down eating dinner and I get a notification from ESPN. I get a notification from fucking the MLB app. I get a fucking text from my buddy.
You're
I
getting
get a
direct
call from
links from ESPN. Like go watch the game right now.
Judge is stepping into the bat, stepping up to bat. Go watch it now. Like, there is so much pressure on this.
All eyes are on Judge right now. It seems to be. That could be, I mean, even if he does get the home run, all the focus that he's been putting on, maybe just to do the home run, getting the home run record or whatever, maybe that's a detriment to their playoff run. And that could be
it honestly could be
hot streak now. Maybe he goes cold in the playoffs, and this is the complete opposite of what you want. We always talk about getting hot at the right time, and right now, I mean, the Yankees were red hot in the beginning of the season. They fell off a cliff. They were able to string together enough wins to still stay competitive in their division. I think at one point the Rays or the Blue Jays were within 5 games or something like that of the division. But yeah, sure enough, the Yankees, I'm pretty sure, have clinched it without a doubt. And but yeah, this could be not writing on the walls, but I'm sure it could be the question maybe next week that all the people on ESPN, all the people on the sports radios are talking about, like, oh, was it too much? Was it too much focus on it right now? And is it the cold streak right now for Aaron Judge because of what was happening when he was chasing the record? So yeah, again, another good idea, another good point that you gotta focus on right now. And it will see. I mean, yeah, the Yankees are what they are. They're very powerful and everything, but that hasn't translated to any World Series in the past 15 years for them. So, in all honesty, from top to bottom, the best team, like everyone says, and it's just as true as it is. It's the Dodgers. It's just until you can beat the Dodgers or look competitive against them, it's going to be them again. They even put in their B team, and they can still run up 11 runs on you. It's just it's the Dodgers or nothing right now, and I'm not going to be hoorah, let's go Dodgers, but they're looking like the world beaters right now. They're looking like the champs no matter what. So it's tough one. They got a couple of question marks with their rotation. I know a couple of people went down. They're not the best as of right now, but I mean, a guy like
honestly don't matter.
It doesn't matter. Their offense is gonna come in, but I mean, it could be Dodgers Astros again. Like, it could be as boring as it sounds. But it is what it is. That's baseball in my mind. I really didn't have anything else on it. But do you have anything to wrap this up? We get otherwise could put a capper on 125.
Yeah, no, that pretty much fucking wraps up baseball, wraps up foosball, wraps up the serial killer talk. Yeah, I guess Aaron Rodgers had to fucking give his mom a call last night, say, hi mom, how you doing? Sorry I missed your birthday. I lost that bet with Tom Brady. But no, we got a fucking another week of football in the books. It should be a decent Monday night game. Bears week 4. Who we got a fucking again?
Giants.
Don't even remember. We got the Giants. That should be Sunday. Should be another decent game. Hopefully another winnable game for the Bears. Could be an ugly one, but
yeah.
I still think definitely winnable, and we'll talk about that coming up fucking Wednesday on 126, I believe.
Correct. Yeah, we'll get into all that. Thank you as always for joining in. Thank you, Bill. As always, it was always a good episode. Good shit.
Oh,
good
yeah.
Talks. Thank you, Troy, for the call. Thank you for checking in. Thank you for telling Alan to take your notes. Alan, take your notes. Thank you as always for joining in, watching us on either the YouTube, listening to us through your whatever, maybe Spotify and all that fun stuff. So thanks for all that. Share us around, like us, rate us. That's always cool. That's always beneficial. Points bet, code SYS9. Plug it in. You get some free bets. You get some all that stuff up to $2,000. All the details in there. But yeah, until next time, until later in this week, we'll catch you on 120. Then at 125, we'll see you 126 to preview the Bears. Go Bears! Big win.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Take care. Bye bye.
See you guys later.